Well,
You're on now?
yes. Wow, what's wrong?
No, I was saying I hope one was upset because the plates are in the thing, so I washed them up quickly.
Oh. It's probably fine. Okay, is it working now? It looks like it is. All right, perfect. That was a hassle. That was a hassle more so than anything else. I was right. My Discord did need to update, but for whatever reason, my Discord can only update when I restart my laptop, and I almost never restart my laptop because I'm always using it. But with that being said, that's sorted. I've hopped into the Discord chat. I've also changed into more comfortable attire. I'm gonna pull up TTS again, and now we can finally test out this deck against other human beings. God, why did that exhaust me so much? I feel like Iams is the one who exhausted me. It's just so loud. All right, so we open up YouTube and we go from there. Yo, Hydro, how you doing? Friend, it's been a minute. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. Let me pull up the thing so I can see it on my phone just to be safe. Refresh this.
Are we back into sleep?
Yeah, I'm loading up TTS now. Let's set it to public, create the server. Yes, we are back indeed. I was very sad to hear you quit Yu-Gi-Oh! And just got back into it completely and slaying everyone with Raid Raptors. I'm glad Raid Raptors are viable. I didn't know Raid Raptors were viable in the current meta. That is nice to hear, right? Yes, we are in fact back. Kasai, how you doing, friend? What's good? But yeah, no, I have not played, so I haven't done any Yu-Gi-Oh content in a long time. I still play Yu-Gi-Oh every now and then in my free time because, it's Yu-Gi-Oh, it's fun for, as a passerby kind of thing. But the amount of play that I would have to do to maintain running a YouTube channel for it, I just don't feel like I'm in the headspace. Oh, they're not viable. I see. Well, it's nice to like things. There's that at the very least. Okay, you made them viable. That makes it better. That's good. I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that then. Right? I'm gonna pull up the test deck that we're using. And Ancient Melody, and Ancient Melody. Yes, Neo, it is working. So I am in the game dev chat. You can hop in and we'll go for it. Currently in Diamond because of Raid Raptors. Diamond, what might I ask? Have you made it to the top of the top? Or are you at the edge of the top? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We draw the last one ourselves. This deck is insane, right? This deck is absolutely just balls to the walls insane. Because, so basically what had happened was, I tasked Soluxus with making Harpies viable, or finding a deck where Harpies fit. Soluxus came to me and was like, hey, Harpies ancient beast. And I was like, wait a second, no, that sounds bad. Just on paper, that just sounds bad. Because normally ancient beasts are being offensive and they've only got Nadia to defend. So it's like, okay, what do you do with that, right? How do the Harpies help with that? And how do the ancient beasts keep the Harpies alive when they're attacking? And then he was like, no, defensively. And then I was like, wait a second, defensive ancient beasts is actually a viable strategy. So at that point we got to thinking, I was like, okay, so still, even with that strategy in mind, Harpies do not really do much to benefit the strategy. So what else could be put in there instead? And I was like, wait a second, Arias. And so here we are. Right? I ordered myself a set of tarot cards for the funsies. That sounds interesting. I've never actually had a tarot card reading done, so that's vibes. Right? I'm near the top. You love to see it. We actually have a subset that's going to be based on tarot cards, the Fool subset, because like the Fool's Journey and everything. So we have a subset that's going to be based on that, but I've never actually experienced like the tarot card, a tarot card reading myself. Now I was about to do something, and it was going to be important. Delete the last stream. That's what I was going to do because it's not. We're not keeping that, right? We're not keeping that because it ended. Also I got Shay Obsidian and Duel Links. Who's Shay Obsidian? I don't know who that is. I wish I did. The way you said it makes me feel like I'm supposed to know who it is as well. Delete. Okay, there we go. Right, so that's all sorted. I like this Magic the Gathering looking game. Thank you, I think. I don't know what Magic the Gathering looks like, so I have to assume that it's a positive. Right, one must just assume these things. Huh, am I Okay, yeah, no, I am in the game dev chat for Summoner's Nexus, so hop in whenever you like, Neoshock. This game is...
Hello.
Oh my god, I wasn't expecting you. You are loud. How do I turn you down? You are... I know I said whenever you were ready, but Jesus, okay. How do I put down the volume on you? Let's see here.
I mean, you tell me.
I'm working on it. Hold on. Voice and video, surely there's an option. Wow, the volume is already down. That's crazy. Let's put it down more. Say words.
Hello.
Say more words.
Bonjour.
Okay, that's too low. Say even more words.
Hola.
Okay, yeah, I can work with that. I can live with that. Cool. Oh, all right. Yo, Saul, how you doing, bro? We're testing out the deck. I took so Neo, Saul and I were talking. And you know how Saul got taught. Oh, did you hear the whole explanation that I just said?
I heard like a bit. So you're saying like, oh, Ancient Beast's not good. Maybe it's good. Then you. I didn't hear like what else you guys have patched in.
So basically, what it was Saul was like Ancient Beast Harpies. I was like, Then he was like, wait. I know what you're thinking, but hold on. Defensive Ancient Beast Harpies. I was like, ooh. No, because Harpies didn't support like what I thought the playstyle was enough, but it's an entirely new way to play Ancient Beast that I hadn't considered. So I then looked at all of the other decks that we currently have, and I came up with Arya Ancient Beast from that with the defensive playstyle. And honestly, every sim that I've run, you can consistently get to turn 6 unless your opponent has some solid interruption. Even against Reapers, it went decently well. It's not as consistent against Reapers, but everywhere else, you're consistently making it to turn 6, and that was insane to me. So what I said to myself was, today, I want you to just come with the deck that you're... What deck would you say you're best with?
I'd probably say Reapers.
Reapers. Because I've already simmed it with Reapers, I want to try something else. What else can you think of?
I'll probably say like Wandering Swamp Dwellers, probably like second best deck.
Alright, in that case, come at it with Wandering Swamp Dwellers, because we haven't done a Wandering Sim with this yet. I've thought about how a Wandering Sim would go, realistically speaking. And the biggest problem in the Wandering Sim is, I think, Tuition. Other than that, anything is possible. So what we're going to do is... you've already hopped in. Excellent, perfect. So I will spawn.
Can I has a promotion?
And you can has a promotion.
I promise to work hard.
I don't know why that makes me laugh every single time, but it does. Let me spawn you a deck. Here's the Swamp Dwellers.
Now I have to read the other cards because in that game, literally the Phoenix kind of backfired. So.
True. Again, I'm glad that the Wandering subset is I spawned too many decks. The runes are there along with the cards. But I'm glad that the Wanderings feel as balanced as they do. Brandon, how you doing, bro? Hello, everyone. Can't stay long at work, bro. You hate to see it. I mean, get the money, get the bread. I appreciate you. Get yourself fed. But at the same time, it's nice to see you, friend. Now, by the way, so did you ever record the Mexstar video? No, I haven't had a chance to yet. I had work. I had employment. I had to go serve the man for a minute and a half. And I have to do the same again tomorrow. Wait, did I not spawn the deck? Were those? Okay, no, I did.
20, so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't give me generic runes though.
Oh right, of course. That's the ticket. Here you go. See, I've pre-saved my decks because I know how I like them played, and so I don't have to make a deck every single time. I'm just gonna be here waiting.
I feel like Mogus literally Mogus was one of like the worst ones, and then like everything else started getting worse. And
now you look at Mogus and it's like, you might actually have some heat. Wait, right?
Let's see what Huey's saying. Say Huey's been like from day negative, been dog water.
No. I think it hasn't gotten that bad for Wandering yet. I feel like they. Like, it has to get bad for them to need Hui, because it's literally a 2-1. It's literally just a 2-1. Yo, Reyes, yes indeed I did. well, quit is a strong word. At someday, like for example, some of my Yu-Gi-Oh videos are relisted. They're up on the channel again. But there is a, what's it called? I just wanted to make my own game. I didn't have the same passion that I did for Yu-Gi-Oh, so I decided to rededicate my channel and my time to working on my own game, which is what we've got here in front of us. And at a point at which I feel like I actually have the time to make other kinds of content, maybe I will go back to Yu-Gi-Oh, or maybe I'll do something else. We'll see. Right? So I want to discuss about this. I want to know more about the new TCG. Let me join this Discord. So let me tell you what you need to do, because we're in, it's a regular Discord. However, it is under the game dev role. Now, everyone you have to sign the NDA and the volunteer agreement to get the role as a tester and everything, to be able to get access to that chat, because legally I formed a company, so I can't like have you contribute in a meaningful way. So me giving you the role for game dev could be considered a meaningful, like, oh, I've brought you in, but you haven't signed anything. So legally, that's danger that I could put myself in. So I can't give you access to the chat. However, all the rules to the game now are up. The last video went up on Monday. So if you want to know anything about the game, some of them are outdated already because it's a live game, like we're updating it as we go. But you get like everything you need to know to play the game, and it's all on YouTube currently. But yeah, so that's it, right? I feel like Defensive Ancient Beasts will create the need for a side deck. I'm not gonna lie to you, Defensive Ancient Beasts are kind of broken. Like, so Neoshock, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell you the strategy, right? I feel, because like I explained it to Saul, and in practice, it is honestly a very difficult thing to stop. Like, yeah, exactly, like he's already in the Discord, huh?
And you played me.
Yeah, I played it against Nat, and there was only one point in the game where it was like she could have stopped me, but a play that she made on a previous turn prevented her from being able to make the play that could have stopped me, right?
Is it just like bounce control?
No, there's no bouncing. That's a crazy thing. I mean, yes, I guess you could bounce with Leonidas, but in the game that we played, did I ever even bounce?
When we played it, so you did.
No, I don't think because when I ran like the sim with like, okay, chest in my head, all that kind of stuff.
No.
I bounced then, but when we actually played against each other, I never bounced you. Where do I send my ass? I can send you a, remind me your Discord name, and I can send you the volunteer agreement. If you sign the volunteer agreement, then I'd be happy to add you to the game dev role. You can see the game dev chat. And when we're running stuff like this, I'm always looking to get more people who are down to like playtest and see what's going on with the game, because as it expands, we're gonna need more and more people playtesting. They're working on coding the rules now. They're coding turn structure right now, actually. So that's something that's happening. Leonidas being once per contest stops bounce control being a thing, sadly. So yeah, the thing with Leonidas is the idea.
Wait, the bounce is one per contest.
Yeah, so how it's supposed to work is Leonidas can bounce one card per contest, because the bounce is really strong. Like the bounce, because if you bounce, because there's no rank limit, so you can just keep on bouncing rank 3s and just make your opponent kill themselves that way. Right? So it's once per contest.
Literally and figuratively.
Exactly, right? So it's once per contest. However, the catch to that is if you use instruction to put Voyage on another card. Voyage is the ability that lets you bounce. Invictus lets you copy the effect of an Ancient Beast monster and put it on one of your tokens. Copy Voyage onto a token. The token can now tribute itself to bounce cards on the field because it now has the Voyage ability, right? So you can actually use it more than once in a game, but you have to actually work for it, is the thing. Like, you can't just infinite do it with Leonidas. That feels like too much power in one card, so now the deck has to work together to get multiple bounces off. Gotta go have a good one. Hey yo, much love, Brandon. Have a good one. I hope you have a good day at work. And kisses. Mwah.
What?
It's Brandon. I'm gonna give Brandon kisses. What do you mean? Everybody should kiss their homies. Everybody.
Do you want to tell me like that?
Alright, so yeah, how this strategy plays out, right? And because I'm gonna tell it to you, because again, we're playtesting, so the aim is to see if it's actually beatable. I'm not trying to like surprise you in the middle of the game and be like, haha, you've activated my trap card. No, I want to show you just how strong the strategy is, because I want you to help me see if it's actually
Can I have
balanced.
generic rules?
They're right over here.
Oh yeah, okay. Did you blend it in,
Right.
I guess.
Kisses for the homies. Exactly. Right? But yeah, so how it works is turn 1, and this is consistent. And when I say consistent, I mean you can do this every single game. Turn 1, Invictus encounter, Nadia in defense, Aurora in Nexus, right? The 2 runes that you play, Incinerate and Freeze. Now, what you do in the situation, and if you want to, you also play Strong Arm for just an extra layer of defense, right? Now, no matter what you summon, you have to have 2 cards that are over 200 if you want to get past me. Actually, not even over 200. 2 cards that are over 250 if you want to get past me. First off, if you summon 2 cards in attack position, I freeze the first card that you summon that's bigger than me. I can ignite the second one if I want to, and then I can activate this Strong Arm rune to fortify Invictus at 200 attack by sending Nadia to the graveyard. So now you have to hit him twice at 200 if you want to get past. Any cards that you have here are either frozen, ignited, or stuck. Turn 1 comes to an end. Now, these runes go to grave. Turn 2, I draw. I top deck. Okay, I don't need her yet. So, yes, actually, I will do this. So, turn 2, I summon Maximum Opus in defense, assault, counter, doesn't really matter. And then I summon Merides of the Aria. Right now, what Aura of the Aria does on summon is activate introduction, and it says that for the rest of this contest, when an Aria monster is summoned, increase their attack and defense by 150. Right now, the balance there is that all of the Arias have 0 attack and 0 defense. So now this gets summoned at 150, 150. What she says is on summon, when all of your Aria monsters are summoned for the rest of the contest, they automatically become fortified, right? So they gain instant fortification. Again, within the subset, that's fine. So this is the turn 2. Chances are I'm still fortified over here with 200 attack, and I've got the Ancient Beast rune that says, where is it? Reset the attack and defense of an Ancient Beast monster on the field to their original value. So let's say you hit me once, break the fortification. If the second hit onto me does not kill, I reset my stats, and Homeboy is back up at 200. Awesome, cool. Had I top decked an Ancient Beast monster, ideally you don't want to top deck this yet because this is for later in the strategy. But if you top deck an Ancient Beast monster, it would have been an extra 200 in the counter zone that you would have had to deal with that turn as well. Follow that up on turn 3 with another top deck, draw. Now, this is where it gets a bit... Okay, so... it hasn't gone perfectly with the cards that I drew in this order, but still it works. The next card you summon is this, right? Vespera of the Aria, which says the next card you summon onto the field gets inducted into the Aria subset. Now, this card has 150 attack and 150 defense and is fortified. This has 150 defense, and this one is just kind of chilling, right? You summon Dominus Rex coming up in the counter zone again, adding more of a blockade, adding more blockage. There's also the time capsule rune in case I'm worried I'm going to get destroyed so I can resummon Invictus, blah, 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 so on and so forth. The most you end up spending with this strategy is 900 points to 1,000, and that's where this card comes in, right? So if I spend 900 points on all of this, getting a fortified monster because the next Ancient Beast card that I summon onto the field will be fortified. So Valor comes onto the field. She's inducted into the Aria subset. She's at 350 attack. She's fortified. And we haven't even factored in any tokens that I may have generated over the course of the battle when you swung and cards died based on Invictus being fortified. So add those tokens mentally to the defenses that I have at my disposal. Along with everything that I just did, I'm at 300 life points most likely. Turn 4, I then start activating the effect of Maximum Opus, which is Lancia Verita, which says she can remove a card I control from the game. I no longer need the Arias because they've done what they need to do, and I gain the Nexus points back. So over here, boom, I just increased my Nexus gauge by 150, so I'm at 450 on turn 4. I've done most of my summons. I can do it one more time, get rid of a rank 2 or anything that I don't need, or even get rid of Maximum Opus herself to boost myself by another 100 to put myself at, that would be 550 turn 6. I'm more likely to win on life. Sorry?
That'll be 600. Plus 150?
Plus 150 plus 100 onto the 300, so plus 250.
Oh, okay.
Right, so 550. I'm more likely to win
Mm.
on life than anything, right? I'm not trying to kill you. I never need to use my assault zone. Maybe I put some tokens in there. I don't know. We never factored in the tokens. I never even drew Leonidas, but you get what I mean, right? There's a lot. So again, I think it does somewhat depend on your draws, which is why I realized, okay, this might actually be balanced, because if you don't draw perfectly, it's easier to interrupt, one, and two, certain strategies are just going to be better against this in general. But just the fact that I think this is really viable. Like, I think this could actually be a really strong way to play the game.
Yeah, it's like I was like, we're tier 1.
Yeah, this feels tier 1. I'm glad. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't overreacting. But like, this feels like it would be, in a meta of this game, a tier 1 deck. Because that's so much defensive power. And then to gain the life points back so you win on life. I just want to check to make sure that it's actually fun to play against more so than anything else. Because the question of whether or not it's good, in my opinion, isn't a question. This is good. It's just like, is it toxic? Like, will you actually be able to have fun playing against this? Because it feels so good, right? So I'm doing Blender, so someday I can help with animations and such with you, big man. Hey, that would be a vibe. Thank you very much for offering. Right now we're keeping everything in a 2D space, but that is, well, that's not going to change per se, but there's going to be other projects and other things that go into Summoner's Nexus. It's going to be an IP as a whole, not just a single game. So I'm down for that. Thank you. I'm going to Comic-Con for the first time. Hey! If I see the mind behind our Pharaoh's voice, Dan Green, yeah! No, Dan Green over Kaiba, 100%, right? Inducted, is that like changing an avatar subset? Yes, it is, Oberok. So it's like saying, hey, so it doesn't change your subset, it just adds a new subset onto your existing one. So if I have a card that's like, hey, all gladiator cards lose 100 and I want you to lose 100, I induct you into a gladiator. Yeah, you're still whatever you were before, but now you're also a gladiator, so you lose 100, right? Will there be a glossary for all the keywords coded into the game? Yes, there will. So let me show you how it's gonna look. Neoshock, you go ahead and build your deck. Sorry I distracted you. While Neoshock builds, I will show you what it's going to look like in practice. Because the latest build of the game, it doesn't make it possible. You can't see it right now, but I'll show you where the vision is. I'll let you into my head for a second, right?
Did you want to borrow my phone to show?
Oh no, it's fine. Bilal sent an updated version today, so I have the most up-to-date version. And after we're done testing, I actually need to check it for bugs and the sorts. So once my phone connects to the thing, I'll be able to show you what's on the screen. Can you just let me know if anyone says anything in the chat or has any questions, because I can't see it. Thank you. So this is the app. You would go over to the deck editor, enter, you take a look at the cards that you've got at your disposal. Awesome, cool. I like Ryu, so I'm gonna favorite. I'm gonna favorite Tuition. I'm gonna favorite Phoenix. I like Wukong, and I like Boss Guardian. Those are my favorite cards. That doesn't matter for what I'm about to show you. I just like those cards. Now, in the case of the Phoenix, you click on its ability and it says, tribute this card. The attack of another wandering avatar is increased by 200. It cannot attack directly. Ignite, in brackets, the affected card. Now, how it's going to work is that ignite is going to glow blue. It's going to be highlighted, and when you tap on it, so there's an icon. There's going to be an icon, like a little flame icon there next to it. So that way when you see the symbol on the card, it's easy to reference what it is. Then when you tap on the blue word ignite, it'll pop a little itty bitty pop-up that just explains what ignite is. But there's also going to be a glossary where you can just sit down and look at all of the different status effects. The whole rulebook will be in the game even. It's weird to me that the rulebook for Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't in the apps. It seems like a place to put the rulebook. So I'm gonna put the rulebook in the game itself, but also you can just click on an individual ability or an individual piece of the card text. So things that, like, anything that is in brackets, my hope anyway, is that by the time that we're done, anything in brackets will be clickable, because those are keywords, and I want the keywords to all be explainable. So yes, that is how that's going to work in the final game. I hope that was helpful. Right now there's only 30 cards, but the next milestone we do is going to be adding in the other 92 and their card data. And then we've got someone who's working on turn structure. The other group of people is going to be working on the shop, and another group is working on animations for in the 2D space, in a 2D setting. So like when a monster activates an ability, the animation for it plays. Like I'll show you who do I got? Where is my
just for reference, Boat Guy said hope viewers pick up once the game releases, and Oberak said Very surprised that Konami hasn't added it in the rulebook. I
Right.
guess they're relying on people learning the game through the anime and initial tutorials.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Let's see here.
Through the anime.
Oh wait, yeah, no, the anime. The anime is not it. The anime does not have the correct rules.
I mean, there is like a tutorial. Like, I feel like there's no real point in adding a rule book. Just be a visual learner, I guess.
No, so see, here's my thought process, right? Because they do have a tutorial, and that is one thing, but at the same time, the tutorial does not cover all of the rules, right? Like the tutorial, to cover all the rules in Yu-Gi-Oh, the tutorial would have to be so long, because like there's more complexities and like the intricate, like for example, perfect example actually, like for example, if your opponent attacks and you World Legacy Clash in the damage step, that's their attack done. But the rule book, the rules wouldn't tell you that. Like not the rules, the tutorial wouldn't tell you that because it's such a specific niche situation. Whereas if you had the rule book, you'd be able to figure it out on your own, or if it happened to you, you'd be able to go and understand why what just happened without needing to ask like a judge or something like that.
The thing is, there's not even a rule book in like.
And Ugrak said, speaking of which, is the web comic project still going on, or is that on hold?
So the web comic, I've got so much to explain. So yeah, these are. I don't. Will this actually play properly?
We can start if you want.
Oh, you're ready?
I'm ready.
Perfect.
Mhm.
All right. So I'll explain. I'll show you guys that later. Anyway, where we're at right now is so it's no longer going to be a webtoon. I'm just writing a novel, right? I'm in the process of turning the webtoon that I created into a novel, and the panels that already exist are going to be the story mode in the Summoner's Nexus app. So it's still going to be a webcomic, but not like on webtoon. You will get the panels as part of the story mode. So the story mode will be a condensed version of parts of the story from the book. So that's what that's going to be. And yeah, so rulebook plus tutorial, no harm in giving both. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking, right? All right, so Neo, are you ready to go, my friend?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I set my life points to 1,200. Heads or tails?
Heads.
All right, let's go. It sucks to be you. You go first, or you're gonna go first after this is sorted.
Okay.
So I'm going to go just all out with the strategy. I want you to do everything in your power to stop me, because I want to see if it can be stopped. Like, honestly, that's my biggest concern. I know for a fact that there are points where it can be interrupted, like there are weaker points, and it is somewhat dependent on what you draw, because your opening can has to be so specific. But in a situation
I can
where
see
you draw
how
well,
Reapers would like cook this, to be honest.
But you know the thing, it is this deck in a sim that I ran. This deck beat Reapers, and let me tell you why. Umbrages. So on turn 1, you're gonna summon Grimace, Umbrage, and Kronos, right? Now, ignite Umbrage and isolate him. He loses 50 attack immediately. The next turn comes around, he is now at 200 attack from the start of the turn, meaning that there has to be an external force that is able to boost his attack in order for him to actually get over the card that is fortified in the defense zone. And so it's not perfect, but in a very specific circumstance, like in the sim that I ran, there wasn't a what's it called? I forget what it's called, but there was a card that was relevant that wasn't in hand, but it ended up not mattering as much. You'll see eventually. It doesn't matter. Kind of like
did you not run?
Somewhat, yes.
Did you not run Sickle in the opening hand, or?
So Sickle and Scythe were in the opening hand. No, were Sickle and Scythe in the opening hand? I'm trying to remember. I think Sickle and Scythe were in the opening hand. Turn 2, summon Sickle. I'm trying to remember how the sim went. I promise you it made sense.
I mean, it's fine. Like, it's fine.
You'll see eventually. You'll see eventually.
Yeah,
right? Because it was a niche
that
situation, but it's something that can happen. You go ahead and reveal first. I'm giving up turn priority. Let's see what happens. Heads always shreds. No, it did not. No, it did not. Ifrit turn 1. Are you high?
No.
Okay. I summon Invictus in the counter zone.
Bold play.
Boss Guardian.
Boss Guardian.
I summon Aura of the Aria in the Nexus. What are you
Immorag.
doing? Okay. I don't like this. Hold on. What the hell are you doing? Okay, I summon Nadia, Tamer of the Ancient Beasts, in the defense zone.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask this. So
Yeah?
isolate, fortified, none of them can be activated during the battle phase, right?
No, they cannot. So I think I know what
And
you're planning. I think it will
This
work.
activates during the battle phase. So like, it's the battles beginning of battle phase is different from like end of wave, right?
Be more specific with your question. What do you mean?
Can you activate your runes in the beginning of battle phase?
I've always been of the opinion that no, you shouldn't be able to. Like, once the battle phase begins, it's its own thing. So only effects that say they're activatable during the battle phase are activatable. I think that's something that I'd like to stick with because it's the logic that I've had in mind when creating the cards up till now. So I would say no, they can't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I think I have an extra card in my. Wait, let me just fix up my draw deck because I
Alright.
have an extra card.
Yeah, why is Wukong just out there? What are you doing?
Yeah, I know. Like,
What's going on?
I just looked there and I'm like, why is he just chilling there? And I'm like, oh
Man.
shoot.
Paper game not so exciting personally. Packs are fun though. Yeah, I never got into physical Yu-Gi-Oh. It just was never a thing for me. Social awkwardness, you know, the ropes. I'm sorry, is Tuition in your draw deck? Tuition
Yeah.
is in the resource deck? Are you high? You played Ifrit
no.
turn 1 and Tuition. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you cook because maybe you have some secret sauce that I don't know about. So you don't have Wukong in your hand. You don't have Tuition in your hand.
I need to get rid of Mokus. Let's see the lines. Let's
You
see
have
the vision.
you have one too many cards in your resource deck. Ah, I see.
I'm trying to analyze the vision.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
What's no haram?
Alright.
Yeah. Can't believe I'm deleting Phoenix. What the heck?
You deleted Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just let you cook. Oof. Okay. You're making some tough decisions. I guess I respect it.
Yeah, Mokus is
respect
just
it.
like Phoenix is just ignites. Battle locks you is just too much, I guess.
Alright, fair enough. So that is. Oh wait, no, you still have a card. Is this a rune? Alright, cool. So wave start. Anything to declare?
Nope.
Alright, I activate introduction. So now all Aria monsters that are summoned for the rest of the contest gain 150 attack and defense on summon. Bro hasn't learned from Yu-Gi-Oh! Never let a person in a card game cook. Nah, don't worry. That's the point. I want to see if he can cook me. I want to see if he can do it. Up next, I activate freeze. I target Imarag, Shaman of the Swamp Dwellers.
Okay.
Because, you know, why not? That goes to the graveyard, and I am ready for movement phase. Alright, so movement phase 1, these cards move up, your card doesn't move up. Battle phase 1, would you like to activate an effect? Alright, go for it.
I tribute
Imarag to grave.
and chain
Hey!
card exchange.
You're doing a bit too much. Wait, what?
I chain card exchange.
No. I don't agree.
What's happening?
I don't agree.
Oh yeah, because it's literally battle. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just do that first then. That's fine.
Oh, thank God. That's not even why I didn't agree. Because what you did made sense, but it seemed like such a Yu-Gi-Oh thing where it's like you tribute something, you activate an effect, and then you do something as the cost of another effect, and then the first effect makes it a plus. Like, that would be so much plussing off of losing nothing. That scared me. I'm glad that that's not actually a legal play. Like, I didn't have a reason for you why that shouldn't be legal, but I'm glad that it's not legal, because what the hell? That was terrible. That was disgusting. That was actually disgusting. But no, yeah,
Okay.
technically perfectly legal. And I mean, to be fair, if you just activate the card exchange before the battle phase, it's the same thing. So you might as well, let's just say you activated card exchange first. We're trying to play optimal, but that is still disgusting. All right, continue.
Draw monster card.
Of course, as you do. All right, so
Yup.
summon that from grave into the same position. That is absolutely fine. That's the end of
Belly drum.
Oh, of course, belly drum. Add a card from your deck to hand, as one does, as one do be doing. God, Swamp Dwellers are good, but I'm glad that they don't feel broken anymore. They feel good. Right? Get the fire extinguisher. Bro, please tell me that you haven't burnt your food. Okay, just some slightly singed chicken. Okay, cool. Now, movement phase 2. This card moves up. That is the end of movement phase 2. Battle phase 2, are you choosing to declare an attack?
Nope.
All right, in that case, oh, you've put me in such a tricky situation. And I'm glad that the situation now is so tricky, because it showcases that there is counterplay to this strategy. You can't just do the exact same thing every single time and hope that that works out for you. That being said, I'm going to activate Incinerate and target Boss Guardian, igniting it, which means it loses 50 attack and defense. Send this to the graveyard, and oh, I hope I don't regret this. I really hope I don't regret this. I'm going to activate Strong Arm, which says if I control at least 2 Ancient Beast monsters, send one to the graveyard and the other becomes fortified. Now, the reason why I'm choosing to still do it, because when you summon a card, you're going to when you summon your boss monster guy, Invictus's attack is going to get reduced, right? So like, is it better to have 2 Ancient Beasts or just the one? I'm glad that I'm in a position where I have to make that decision, and I'm choosing the second Ancient Beast, hoping and praying that I top deck a second one. Because if I don't top deck an Ancient Beast, I'm gonna cry. So let's do it. Let's go. I'm all in. I'm all in. Turn 2. Draw. Also, let's our life points for turn 1. I summoned a rank 2 rank 2s and a rank 1, so minus 250 for me, putting me at a solid 950.
I'm 1050.
1050. Okay, good. Easy turn for you. All right. But that means I have turn priority. Nice. Chaining to dodge downsides. I'm surprised there isn't a deck based around that gimmick. It just hasn't come up yet as a mechanic of the game, and I've realized, like, wait a second.
Have you drawn?
Oh no, I haven't. Let me draw.
Draw.
You've got to be kidding me! You've got to be kidding me! Start of the turn, Boss Guardian gets another ignite counter. Oh my days, bro. Okay. Oh. All right. There's no way.
Oh yeah, no, you have priority.
Yeah.
So who has priority?
I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay.
I think this is my smartest play. Am I gonna regret this? I probably am. Not probably, I'm definitely gonna regret this. I'm definitely gonna regret this, but let's do it. Let's get into it. Oh, runes add such a level of complexity. Do I play this rune now? I'm not gonna play it, no. I'm not gonna need it. I'm him for real. I'm really him. I don't need it.
You best hope so.
I don't need it. I'm him. Alright, let's go. So yeah, go ahead and reveal whenever you're ready. Right. Charred chicken can be flavorful. Get your blasphemy out of my house. Yeah, no, charred chicken can actually hit.
Moraga.
I summon Merides of the Aria in the counter zone. Okay, alright, that's fine. I summon Golgotha, Queen Mother of the Giants, in the defense zone.
Ryu in the counter.
Hey! Hey now! Hey! I set one rune face down.
I have 2 runes.
Oh, look at you, fancy. Alright. Alright, cool. Do you have anything to activate at the start of turn?
No.
Okay, in that case, I activate Chorus. So this card was summoned with 150 attack and defense. The effect of Chorus means that when Aria monsters are summoned for the rest of the contest, they will be fortified, but she herself is not fortified. And that's it for me. Alright, so
That's fine.
movement phase 1. These cards move up.
Yep.
Battle phase 1, is Tuition declaring an attack, or do you activate your effect?
I'm leaping.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So we will just assume Tuition to be on the other side. The next card set to attack is Little Boy. So what does he do?
No, at the same time as Torsion, I activate his effect.
Alright, cool. Go ahead.
The rag goes down.
As one does.
Summon him.
Okay, which effect do you activate on summon?
Ogre Swamp. I'll just get back the baby boy.
Wait, you're Ogre Swamping? The hell?
Yeah. I don't need to
Okay.
reduce your stats. Yeah.
What do you mean you don't need to reduce my stats? Okay, alright, if you say so.
I'm just not playing with you.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Ogre Swamp doesn't do that anymore.
Whichever one brings up, there's the one that brings back stuff.
No, there isn't. So you have 3 effects. When this card is summoned by...
Oh, from the grave. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
And no. So what it says is place it in either checkpoint on the field. It doesn't return things anymore. Remember, we closed the loop. Ogre Swamp does something different now. It puts you in either of the checkpoints.
Okay. I'll mud wrestle then.
Mud Wrestle. What does Mud Wrestle do?
It curses a card.
Okay, and which card do you choose to curse?
I'll curse Invictus.
Okay, as one does, as one do, that's fine. In that case...
Oh yeah, I forgot to pay for
Right, same.
Ogre Swamps.
I summoned a rank... Oh right, yeah, you pay 50...
Because
Fee Fi Fo
so I pay
twice.
50.
50 and 50,
Yeah.
right?
That's 100. I summoned a rank 2. That's another 100.
Damn, you really
Summoned a rank
spend... You
2,
a
that's
big spender.
300. And a rank 2, that's 500.
Alright, I summoned 2, so I summoned 2 rank 2, so I paid 200. I'm at 750. You're a big spender. Damn, how many points was that? Where are you? Did that take you down to 550? Okay, alright, fair enough. Movement phase 2, nowhere to move for most people. Battle phase 2, do you choose to attack with Tuition?
Yeah.
Okay, in response, I activate Queen Mother, which says, tribute this card, increase the attack and defense of a card you control by the attack and defense this card had on the field. By tributing Queen Mother to the graveyard, I can boost the attack of Merides of the Aria to 250. So.
Actually, wait, so how does this work? So, I'm battling, yeah?
Yes.
If I activate Ifrit, yeah?
Yeah.
So when a wandering card after you control would battle, tribute this card, your opposing card is inflicted with void until the end of the turn.
Indeed, yes.
So you become voided.
Yep.
So how would the attack resolve?
What do you mean, how would it resolve? You just wouldn't be able to hit me, but you also can't attack directly, so the attack would just be inherently negated by the mechanics of the game.
So this would negate the attack even if I'm attacking.
Yeah, because
or does it specifically? Oh yeah. So let's say there was. So
So
the
the-
attack would be direct,
so
but
the-
since Torsion can't attack directly.
no, because Ifrit says when you do that, you cannot attack directly for the rest of the turn. So you can't attack directly for that reason, but also you used leap, and leap prevents Torsion from attacking directly the turn that it's used. So there's two things that stop you from attacking directly there,
Oh, okay.
right? So that would be end of turn. Yes.
Wait. This is both movement phases, right?
Yeah, this is the end of movement. This is the end of battle phase 2 is where we are.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. In that case, turn ends. I reveal my face down rune, send it to the graveyard.
I'll activate Journey's End,
Okay.
swapping Ryu and Torsion.
That's not what Journey's End does.
Is it not?
No, so it says during movement phase 1 or 2, take a single wandering avatar you control and place it in your assault, defense, or counter zone. So, I mean, you could switch if you wanted to because you haven't used Ryu's ability to switch, but then that would be the ability causing that change to happen.
Okay. I thought made switch light. I guess not.
No. Right? So if you want to switch, you can. I just wanted it to be clear the reason why the switch was happening. Right? Okay, so
Yeah.
All right. Turn 3, we draw for turn.
Oh yeah, I activated Migra as well, so both of them
yeah.
got like 100.
Of course, that's fine. Is it 100 or 50 from Rygra?
Oh, it's 50.
50. And then Boss Guardian is ignited next turn, so it's just gonna go back down to 0. That's
so
that's
it's
the last
literally
deck of Ignite. So
Yeah, so you draw.
draw. Okay. I see you. I see you. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. No, wait, that's stupid. Okay. Really thought I had something for a second. Hold on. Does this make sense? I kind of wish I had made a different play previously. It's not the play I usually make when I run Sims, but I think I can still make it work. I think I can. All right, yeah, I'm ready. This deck, so I have a question because I'm having fun playing this deck. I'm not attacking you. I'm not putting pressure on you. Is it still fun to play against?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's just
Right?
like me trying to like. It feels like you're like this wall, and I have like this like pickaxe. I'm trying to like work at this one, like try to chisel something.
Yeah,
Like, hopefully, I'll make I'll
Right.
either make a beautiful sculpture or it will fall to pieces.
Okay, good, because that's what I was scared of. I was like, okay, is playing too defensive going to be unfun for the opponent? Because honestly, I think you've played this exact. So when I never simmed against Wandering, but when I imagined how the game went, I 100% imagined Torsion leaping and then Ryu switching as this deck's means to like combat its opponents, right? I always thought that would be a smart way to play this deck. Play a smart way for the Wandering substance to play against this deck. So I imagine Wanderings and Reapers being natural counters to this strategy for that reason. So that makes me really, really happy. Okay, I am at 750. You spent
Actually,
a lot last turn.
Reading, because switch can only work at the end of movement phases, so I don't think I could.
Oh right, yeah, no, you wouldn't.
movement phase of.
Oh right, yeah. So you wouldn't have been able to switch in that situation. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
just keep him. It's not like it changes too.
Exactly.
That's fine.
It's literally basically the same board state. Okay, so I am at higher life. Do you want me to reveal first?
Yeah, go for it.
I bet I summon Vespera of the Aria in the defense zone. She inherently becomes fortified on summon at 150 defense.
Wukong.
You little shit. I summon Valor, Huntress of the Ancient Beast, in the frick. What zone is that? Counter zone.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that is. Oh, that's all you summoned?
Yeah.
Holy. Okay. All right. Bet. That turn cost me 200, 100, 300 total, putting me at a solid 450. Did that turn tie us up?
I'm gonna be at 400.
Why did you lose another 50?
Because I'm gonna activate Swamp Dollars, so I'm just doing that now.
I don't know which Swamp Dollar effect are you going to activate, my friend.
Oh, does none of them? So this guy doesn't summon any
No,
of them?
he doesn't. Neil, that's what I was trying to tell you
Yikes.
before. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Both of the other two can summon him once. So the play that you did gets him out quickly, but you've robbed yourself of opportunities to cycle it.
I'll take it.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so on summon, I have turn priority. I activate the effect of Outro, which says that the next card I summon is inducted into the Aria subset.
Mm-hmm.
And that is it for me. You go ahead, live your life, do your do. Right?
Movement phase 1.
Movement 1. These cards move up. Battle phase. Yes.
Monkey King. So yeah. So these are 200.
Oh, of course, as one does. Battle phase 1. The strongest cards are tied at Tuershin and Wukong. So who would you like to attack first?
So you're 150 and fortified.
150 and fortified. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
What you got? Hit me. I know you want to. Do it. Do it. Hit me.
How long do you have on cursed?
I go to the graveyard
So-
at the end of this turn.
This turn. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just clear the counter. Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, if I don't attack, I can just Wukong staff. Yeah. I'll attack with Torsion.
Okay, I'm fortified. You take 150, leaving Tuershin at 50 attack.
Actually, do I wanna void? Yeah, I'll void.
Okay, activating the effect of Ifrit. Who are you void? Oh yeah, of course you void my card.
So I don't lose any stats, and next turn I'm coming for your booty.
But I'm still fortified. You never hit me. You realize this.
Is it voided till the end of this turn? Until the end of this
yeah.
turn.
I'm void. You never actually hit me.
Yeah, I'll just hit you. It's fine.
Okay, all right,
Okay,
cool.
okay.
So you hit me. I'm at still 150. You're at 50. Cool, awesome, good to go. Next card. Would Wukong like to declare an attack?
No.
All right. Next card. Imorag is forced to declare an attack. Who do you
Mhm.
attack
He's
into?
gonna 1v1 Merides.
Okay. In that case, you have 150. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You swing into Merides. You die. Merides is left with 100.
When did you boost Merides?
I boosted Merides using Golgotha's effect, Queen Mother, boosting her by 100, and she was boosted by 150 on summon by the effect of Introduction.
Yeah, it's better than giving you tokens.
That makes sense. I think so. Let me tell you what my misplay was before that I talked about. When I was crafting the deck, the only thing that's ever
Mhm.
supposed to go in the counter zone is an Ancient Beast. That way you don't have the option to hit other things to avoid giving me tokens, because part of the strategy revolves around me trying to get tokens off of the other monsters. So it was a miss. I was like, oh yeah, you know, you're in a good position, so you feel free to put it in the counter zone. No, it has to go into the defense or assault zone. That way you're forced to give me tokens if you want to get through. It's the only way to maintain pressure. But even with that misplay, I think the deck is still doing all right. The only difference is this would be the first point at which I would have gotten a token, because you would have been forced to hit an Ancient Beast and both were bigger. So that would have given me a 100 attack and 0 defense token, which I probably would have sent into Ryu for Battle Phase 2. But again, we'll see how much that ends up changing. But I do take that I think I misplayed there. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it going. What is next?
Actually, no.
Right.
Yeah, I was confident and just realized.
Sorry?
Didn't do. Yeah, I was confident and I realized why I didn't. So it's fine.
Okay, alright, cool. Movement Phase 2. No cards are moving around. Battle Phase 2.
End of movement phase, I'll switch it up.
Alright,
Actually,
cool.
just Kirin, right? So Kirin puts me all the way up in there, right?
So Kirin, so you can only activate Kirin at the start of the wave.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just switch. It's fine.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Switch moves these guys around. Alright, so Battle Phase 2. Ryu's been on the field for more than a turn, so he's forced to declare an attack into Vespera of the Aria. He is at 250 attack. She is at 150 defense. He destroys her and is left with 100 attack. Alright, vibin'. Turn 4. Oh, I didn't click it. Turn 4. Also I reveal this rune face down. When an Ancient Beast avatar is destroyed, return the destroyed card to your hand. I think it's not doing, but I'm glad. You've got to be kidding me! Oh my days.
Also, it literally tied you 450, 450.
Yeah, we're tied.
But you're gonna start gaining.
So I am gonna start gaining, but at the same time, so the only card that is in a position where it can hurt me right now is Ryu. That being said, that's why I say Wandering is probably one of the best decks to try and counter this, because Ryu can switch at the end of each movement phase. So in reality, you get 2 swings. Now,
yeah,
I have top decked, some might say, poorly. Because this strategy only works if I top deck an Ancient Beast on this turn. And I'm gonna keep it level with you. I did it.
You drew the booster.
I drew the booster. The booster's supposed to come out next turn, which again, you can't really control. All that really matters is having Leonidas or another Ancient Beast turn 4. But I reduce my odds of getting that because I top decked this. Also, Invictus goes to grave. Forgot about that. Invictus goes to grave. And I'm pretty sure my dog is in the graveyard too, bro. Everyone just dying on me, bro. What's going on? Right, Nadia's... Okay, no, the dog isn't in the graveyard, so I could have top decked the dog, to be fair. So there were only 2 Ancient Beasts that I could have drawn. I had a 1 in 3 chance of it not going my way, and it didn't go my way. Anyway, let's see if I can still... So I want to see if I can still stall till the end of the game. So we're going to keep going. We're turn 4. Let's not stop now. So, are you summoning anything?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So, preparation phase. I'm ready to go when you are.
We both have the same, so I think we need to do a coin flip or something.
Indeed we do. Heads or tails?
Heads.
It sucks to be you. Reveal.
You're rigging it for real.
How?
This is rigged.
How?
How?
I literally can't.
Have to try
I literally can't.
And it's really trying to win this.
Oh, Mokus, I lose. I lose.
Because I found it funny when you said I have 2 attacks when I, in actuality, have 3.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Because I have Wukong Staff.
You can't attack me directly with Wukong Staff.
Yeah, but I can attack your defense zone.
Oh, right. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I was confused with what you meant.
I attack your defense zone,
That makes
And
sense.
all of my attackers are attacking. That's literally how you made the deck.
To be honest, that's what
The
it's supposed to
wandering
do.
The wandering attackers are attacking.
That is what it's supposed to do, right? Hyper offensive wanderings are supposed to play that way. I revealed Maxim Opus in the in the defense zone. She gets boosted by 150, becomes fortified on summon, but that's not enough to protect me from everything you've got going on. Wukong would attack. Actually, wait. What would the order of events actually be? Okay, so you would activate
Wukong
Mokus
first.
No, you'd have to activate Mokus to be able to activate Wukong. So you... Oh, wait, hold on. So no, it doesn't necessarily work that way. If you activate Mokus, in order to be able to activate Wukong, the only cards on the field... No, that's incorrect. I was about to say a lie. Actually, no, I might be okay. Hold on. I want us to play this out. Let's play this out, right? So it's turn 4. I'm at 200 defense and fortified. Movement phase 1 happens, nobody moving. Now battle phase, so at the end of movement phase 1, nothing happens. Battle phase 1, you would have to activate Mokus here. So you activate Mokus, and who do you target with Mokus's effect to add their defense to their attack?
The only like target that really makes sense is Ryu.
So Tuition is also an option, but again, it wouldn't make a difference. The thing here is... Yeah, no, that's fine. Oh, also, wait, hold on. Do I want to do this? Give me 1 second, please. I guess before we get to this stage, end of movement phase 2, I'm gonna activate Lancia Verita, remove Aurora from the game, boost my life points by 50. So 350 plus 50, I'm at 400. 350.
I lost 50.
Sorry?
I'm at 400 too. I lost 50 from summoning Mokus.
Makes sense. Now... Alright, so battle phase what happened. You've boosted Ryu up to 350. Battle phase 1. Strongest card on the field is Ryu. So Ryu would be forced to...
what I would say is, because battle... So the reason I would have to tribute Mokus, I mean, to because if Wukong would have attacked first, right?
So,
and
exactly.
Can you change battle order after battle phase has begun?
No, you can't, right? So
Wukong still would have a battle priority even though Ryu has the highest attack, right?
Hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to understand if that makes sense. If a wandering avatar you controlled was sent to the graveyard this turn, when declaring an attack, this card can target cards in other zones. So we simplified it. Okay, so under the previous rules, this would have needed to be activated at start of wave. It's not anymore, and I think that makes sense. So that's fine. So you would activate that when Wukong is still the strongest. Yes, I think that's a legal play. I think that is a legal play. So Wukong would get to attack first. Ryu would be at 350. Yes, that is fine. So Wukong swings into this. This is fortified, so Wukong dies. Gets sent to grave. The next card that would attack in that order would be this one. Ryu swings in. This is destroyed. Ryu is reduced to 150. And that's the end of the battle phase.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. That is 100% correct. Okay. Movement phase 2. Do you want to do the switch to get the 50 damage?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So Tuition comes over. Ryu goes over here. Hold on, wait, pause. Let me double check something.
You're checking if Switch can attack?
No. I know you can attack with Switch because that's part of the point, right? To enable you to get in. Okay, good. It's just until the end of the turn. Leap only stops you from attacking directly the turn that it's used, not as a permanent thing the way that Phoenix does it. I just wanted to double check that. So yes, I get hit for 50. I'm at 350. Minus 350. So no, minus 50. Jesus. Putting me at 350. And that's the end of the turn. Okay. Turn 5. Draw for turn. fucked it. I fucked it. No, I don't think, I was like, okay, it doesn't make that big of a difference. No, it's changed everything. I've top decked Leonidas, but it's useless now. Leonidas has no defenses. The only card that I could have had with defenses would have been this at 150, which I think definitely is a relevant stat value considering how the game went. Not to mention, I would have gotten a 150 attack token to crash into Ryu to affect the state of the current game. Now, obviously, you had Void at your disposal, so a Void could have been used somewhere in there, but then still, this would no longer be on the field. All things considered, I'm no longer in a range where I can win. If I summon Leonidas this turn, I am now at 250. You bring Ryu over for, you do 50 here, 150 there.
Because if you don't put anything in a defensive zone, I can Kirin.
Exactly.
Or does Kirin stop me from attacking directly?
Kirin.
No, it doesn't.
So Kirin doesn't. No, Kirin does. No, Kirin doesn't stop you from attacking directly anymore. It used to. However, if you use Kirin, you would be put in the counter. You would be put in your assault zone. So you would have to get through these.
Oh,
defenses.
in your assault zone. Okay.
Yes. So you would have to get through 250. I just have useless stats over here.
Quicken.
200 and 250. Quicken makes you move at twice the speed. So in one movement phase, you would get to the other side of the board. Right? But you would still have to go through the defenses. That was the balance aspect of it. Right? So that wouldn't work. So it will take you 2 turns to kill me. But at the same time, I can't kill you in 2 turns.
How much stats do you have? So you have 150. If you summon him, you'd be at 250.
You would hit me for. So the only way that this could go, right? Honest question.
My stats. How much attack does Ryu have?
Ryu is currently at.
Because he was a 350.
You boosted to 350
minus 150.
Minus 200. Right?
200. Yeah, because minus
exactly,
200.
Minus 200, so you're at 150. So you have 200 total. If you hit me with both cards, I'll have 50 life points left over. Now, the problem is... So wait, hold on. Wait. Let me show you what I mean. If I summon this card in the assault zone, the only real play that I have, because these cards can't help me, there's nothing I can do with them. If I attempt to swing into Boss Guardian, well, you can void this turn if you want to stop me from getting a token, right? Which means that I am not gaining a token. Yes.
Boss Guardian, is it original attack or
it's original
how does
attack.
It work?
So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If I manage to kill Boss Guardian, I can make a token that does a bit better of a job at keeping me alive, but because you can make yourself void, right? You can stop me from killing Boss Guardian this turn, right? When a wandering avatar you control would battle to beat this card, the opposing avatar does not I become void, so I can't kill you. So you would hit me directly.
But I can't attack you directly. If I void, I can't attack directly.
How big of a difference? Ooh, you know what? That does make a difference. Hold on.
So my plan was, so I'll still activate Kirin, because if I'm at 150, if I activate Kirin, I'll be at 250.
Correct.
So end of movement phase 1, I can't move all the way. So on end of movement phase, I'll still be able to swap with
you would have used
Torsion.
Kirin.
Oh yeah, I would use Kirin this turn, yeah.
And you would be forced to attack because you've been on the field, so Ryu would die.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't work.
Right? No, but you made a very good point. You made a very, very good point in that if you make yourself void, you can't kill me this turn. That's actually a very, very good point. I'm sorry I shut that down. That makes a lot of sense. Right? The problem with that strategy is it's still not good enough. Migra is at 250 defense. Leonidas is at 200 attack. Yes, I can make myself a token off of Boss Guardian, but I'll never have a chance to use Voyage because my Chain of Momentum would kill me before I ever got a chance to use Voyage on Ryu. So I get a token that keeps me alive for a single turn, but I die immediately. So that's what I was kind of going with. It was in the best case scenario, I still die. So I think it was a well fought game, but in this instance, the choice to not put this over here had a bigger effect on the game than I thought it would. I don't think it's necessarily I want to comfort myself and say that, oh, it wasn't a bad play, but I've literally I've got more stats on the board than you right now, but I've made it so that they're useless because I've got 200, 250. I've got 450 total stats, but I've played in a way that they're effectively useless.
Yeah, counter control. Like that's what I would call this house.
Exactly, counter control.
Because it's not, you're not really like stalling or like defending. You're just like slamming big guys, with, like big boosts.
Exactly.
In the counter zone.
Exactly. And to be honest, I think so. Let's unwind. GG's, well played. I think all of your plays were 100% optimal. I think in reality, the decision to play this in this zone, while from a regular gameplay perspective, that would just be considered a misplay. I feel like it partially invalidates what we were trying to do with this experiment, which was to see if played optimally, would Wanderings be able to stop this strategy, right? I am sort of frustrated with myself because that was a really good game and I would have loved to see the outcome of an optimal 1-to-1. I'm not going to say that I'm new with the deck because I've simmed it a bunch of times. That was just a stupid decision on my part. So I feel like I fucked up the test a little bit.
I mean, it didn't come up like before, I'd assume. So
yeah, no, it's a consideration that had come up before, but I was like, oh no, I can be spicy. I can switch up the code. I can switch up the strategy. But you had also, I loved that you had counters to the fortified play with the whole curse thing. I was worried that curse might be too strong of a status effect to introduce this early because it's basically just a destruction effect with extra steps. But that extra turn you have to still have your card really matters, right?
Yeah,
so I feel like that's good.
I feel like fortified recently has become like
it's so strong,
so prevalent. Like every deck has like two cards that are like
that fortified like, literally, right? Like fortified is everywhere.
Wandering doesn't have a fortified. I feel like
no, they do. The Zodiac Barrier is a fortified card. The other card soaks up the damage, but the card fighting becomes fortified.
Oh, okay.
Right?
No, yeah, basically every card.
I mean, at least in that situation, something on the field has to lose the stats. So it does. It's fortified, but in a weird way. But literally, Reapers don't. Theirs is even better than fortified. They just don't die. Right? They just don't die once. To be fair, Forest Guard doesn't have any fortification.
They don't die, but they lose stats.
Exactly, they still lose the stats, so it's not as bad. Right? Fortified is...
negate.
Look, I'm glad that Fortified doesn't protect you from destruction, because when destruction effects become more prevalent, I feel like Fortified will subsequently get worse because it can't protect you from that. So Luxus, you missed a hell of a game, honestly. Even with the poor play in... It's the same thing that happened with me and Nat yesterday, where she made one play that changed her ability to be able to clap back. And it's crazy to me how important each and every single play of this game is. Like, I don't feel like you have room for error. I feel like this game actually has a pretty high skill cap, because if you mess up once and your opponent doesn't mess up at all, I don't see you coming back, because you can't recall the monsters. You can't try again, and you've got such few resources. I want to apologize. Can we run another sim, please? Can we do this game again with what we've learned in mind? I know it's gonna get late if we do it again, but I really want to see what it looks like.
If anything, you should be complaining, not me. Like I can go again twice more.
Oh, vibes!
I mean, it's literally 8 o'clock, my guy. Like,
wow, that game went fast. Yo, 15-minute games when? Come on now. No, that wasn't 15 minutes, but like you.
I was about to say, are you sure?
No, I'm messing with you. I'm not that.
From this game, I feel like I overestimated Ifrit. I feel like Ifrit was gonna put in work now that Phoenix isn't the guy anymore. But
Ifrit is. I think Ifrit's time will come, but it's not here yet. Right?
Yeah. Mokus put in work though. Like
Mokus is him. Mokus is him. I'm so glad, because we didn't even have to touch him. He's been able to do this the whole time. But Phoenix was broken. The fact that he has a place now and it's balanced. Oh, bro, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of how far Wanderings came, bro. I almost want to make a video on the struggles of balancing the Wandering subset. Also, we made it to turn 5. To be fair, actually, we would have made it to turn 6, but I still would have lost. So this deck still consistently makes it to turn 6, right? Like, if we played out the last turn, I wouldn't have died that turn, but I would have died the next turn on turn 6 specifically. So again, this deck is consistently making it to the 6th turn. So Luxus, we've dubbed this counter control. Neoshock actually came up with the name and I love it. It's a counter control deck effectively because it's not regular control. It's not control in the sense that it's like, okay, we're moving things around and messing with things. It's just, no, you don't get to touch me. But wanderings are really good at touching you. And I'm not going to rephrase
getting past
that.
the counter.
I refuse to rephrase the sentence. All right, so.
Okay, wandering are really good at getting past the counter.
But that because again, that combo with Twersion and then the switch, it's the first time that it's happened because it's the first time it's needed to happen because combo. Oh, this game is evolving. I'm so happy. Oh, because what we just did is something that was always possible. It's been possible from day one, but the strategies are getting more complex because the decks are getting closer in power. Wandering can't just Oonga Boonga kill everything. Swamp Dwellers aren't just out of the graveyard. Because everything is balanced, it's drawing out more strategies. It feels like the polish is coming onto the game, which is forcing you to actually use more sophisticated lines of play. I'm so happy, bro. I'm so happy.
Can I have generic runes?
Of course you can.
This was my first duel playing Journey's End, and
right.
I'm just saying this card. I don't know how you think you're playing it.
So let me tell you what Journey's End is for.
Not saucy.
When the actual game comes out, Journey's End is useful on turn 1, and that's about it. Right? Journey's End is useful in a situation where you come up with a strategy and you need to adapt it on the fly because turn 1 is basically turn 1 and I would say turn 3 are the most important turns of the game. And so if your opponent is coming at you with hella offense that you're not ready for, or your opponent is playing more defensive than you expected and you want to change your strategy on the fly, that's all Journey's End is good for. That's literally what it's for. Just the ability to sort yourself out on the fly. Other than that, I agree with you. I wouldn't if I couldn't play Journey's End on turn 1, I probably wouldn't play it. So if that's not part of your plan, I would say it's not worth it. And as better runes come out, it will get phased out of the deck most likely because you just become more confident in your turn 1 position. Right? But yeah. Immediate restraining order on one. I feel like that was deserved. Wait, why isn't Valor in my... Oh, no, she's supposed to be in my resource deck, not my hand. But yeah, just having 450 wasted stats was really painful to me. Right? I really wanted to cook. So I think I'm going to do basically... And so I want you to play from a realistic position, not specifically trying to counter me, but playing as you would.
Yeah, that's why I summon really Boss Guardian.
Thank you for that.
I'm not about to not summon the Boss Guardian.
Exactly.
He might be playing counter control.
Right. I really appreciated the fact that you treated it like a regular game, even though you knew what I was. Because again, the smart thing to do against counter control is to just stop summoning. Because your opponent will burn themselves down and you just keep your life points up and you would be fine that way. But you wouldn't know that until about turn 3. And that's when you might adjust your line of play. Right? So when I say turn 3, I mean the end of turn 2 is when you would realize, oh wait, it's just counter control. Because some decks do their setup turn 1 and then they actually bring up their strategy turn 2. So by turn 3, you would know it's counter control. So I really appreciated that you played it as if you were doing it blind. That really helped to make it feel authentic in terms of testing. Right? What does Journey's End do? Journey's End just says if you have a wandering avatar, place it in another zone you control. So if I summoned Ryu in my assault zone and I summon Twersion in my assault zone and then a card in my Nexus. Let's say I put Boss Guardian in the Nexus. Boss Guardian doesn't go in the Nexus, but just pretend with me. And then I realize, oh wait, my opponent is doing a really aggressive strategy. I could use Journey's End to move one of these cards to the defense zone to adapt on the fly. But Ryu can move himself to the defense zone, so in reality I'd probably move this if I wanted to stay offensive. Yeah. It just gives you more options basically when you're trying to adapt.
Or you just move Ryu and play anything else.
So what I would say is, I generally don't play Ryu turn 1, right? I personally don't. If I'm playing a card turn 1, it's Twersion because I know he's coming back. I play Boss Guardian turn 1, and I play I used to play Phoenix turn 1, but that might change in the future. But you get what I mean. So it's not as flexible. Once Ryu comes out, I would say that Ryu is just Journey's End, but better, right? So you don't really need Journey's End by the time Ryu hits the field, which is why I say it's only there for turn 1, right? Like if my opponent goes hyper aggressive and I've only got Boss Guardian, I would just Journey's End Torsion to the defense zone, let him die, come back to my hand, try again next turn, right? And then play Ryu and take control of the duel back from there. But that's me. I like having the option to adapt mid play rather than going all in on one strat. You get me? But also these are your cards. Why do I have them here?
Because you took them for the example.
Oh, right. Right.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man. Right. So.
Wait, can you spawn in Wandering? Get back Phoenix.
Wait, did you delete Phoenix? Why? Just put him somewhere else,
I didn't
bro.
need him. It's not that serious.
It's not, but like, I'm still offended. I'm gonna shout. Phoenix is worse now, but he's still awesome.
Awesome is a strong word.
Well,
yeah, I did. I mean, I did underestimate him. I guess I more overestimated Ifrit. Like,
100%.
Ifrit is not cooking the sauce. So
no. Ifrit is
so
fully
Phoenix
defensive,
can come back.
right? Ifrit is a fully defensive card. That's all he's there to do is defend you, right? In a
He's not
situation
even
where
a fully defensive card. He's a defensive card that's detrimental to your assault. Like, it's like worse Migra.
Well, that's why I say fully defensive. We're like, if you use him, you are going all in on defense, right?
Isn't Migra literally like better
Well, yeah.
in almost every way?
Well,
actually, not almost, every way.
Migra or Phoenix?
Migra.
Migra is a rank 2.
Snake lady.
Oh no, that's
Snake
Reyes.
lady.
That's Reyes.
Reyes, yeah.
Right. I would actually. I agree with you, and I don't like that that's the case. Because how it's supposed to be is the rank 1s are all supposed to be relative in terms of power, and the rank 2s are supposed to be better than that. And then obviously Ryu at the top is a rank 3. But it just has to be the case. Not every card can be great. I'm sure there's going to be a strategy one day where it's like, hey, do XYZ with a void card, and if its stocks rise as a result. But in the meantime, yeah, he kind of doo-doo butter. He just looks cool. He just looks really cool. Right? And it makes me sad because he in terms of card art, he's one of my favorite designs that we have. But back when he was yoinking your opponent's cards, way too strong. Right? I feel like Void was a solid compromise, but then Void could be way too strong because if you use it offensively, you can make it so that your opponent is Void and you attack directly. So that's why that clause is there. Now I was like, okay, do we make it so that you can only use it when your opponent attacks you? So make it say when a wandering card is attacked, but then that takes away the player's flexibility. It makes it so that they don't get to decide like, okay, what if a card that you're about to attack with would be destroyed by that battle and you don't want that to happen? Well, make your card void, you don't get destroyed, you get to use its effects again. Something like that. Like maybe Ryu used Kirin, Ryu would die after the Kirin, you make it so that he doesn't die, and then you try again next turn with a switch, that kind of thing. It makes for more fun gameplay scenarios. So I was like, okay, it's not gonna be as nice.
It's a negate attack. You can negate attacks
basically
preemptively or responsively.
Exactly, that's basically what it is. Saul, are you in the game? No, I'm not, and you'd think I would have made a card that's based on me by now. You really think I would, but no, I do not have any cards that are based on me, like a Kaiba Man kind of thing. I should make a Kaiba Man. I should be Kaiba. I'm gonna make a card based on me. I don't know what I would make the card do. I'll make the God card based on me. No, that's too prideful. I'll think of something.
Yes, I'm about to say, like, damn, dog.
Right? Cool. Don't forget to reset your life points.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright. Alright, bet. Old man version of you call him the father. That would be vibes. Like an old man dreaded kind. Oh yeah, you know what? I see it. I can see a thing. You can create a rune called My Days. I do say that a lot, don't I? Neoshock, because you seem to believe that I've rigged the coin somehow, you go ahead and do the flip. I choose tails.
You choose tails? Okay.
Yes. feel? How does it feel? How does it feel, my guy? Come on. You can't make this up. You literally can't make this up, right? I'm just born lucky. People need to understand. I'm built different. I'm built differently to the average man. Okay, now, at what point do cards based on wacky stuff come out? Literally in the second to third set being released. There's going to be cards. The Doble subset is coming out year 1. They're cards based on the Pillsbury Doughboy. You know the
Like the Michelin Man.
Yeah, like the Michelin Man. I think if you're in the UK or something like that, like the Tire Man, right? Like that, right? That's what that subset is gonna look like. So we're gonna get goofy stuff coming in relatively soon because you want to have fun stuff, but it's also gonna be viable, right? I hope anyway. Have you just been testing the coin to see if I rigged it?
Possibly.
Man. So one thing that I want to ask you about, actually, I have been putting the fortified rune down turn 1 in every sim I've run so far, and so far it's been working out pretty well. I think when you play blind, it makes sense, right? To just say, hey, because if your opponent gets past the counter zone once, as you saw, the strategy gets really hard to maintain, right? So instead of focusing on defense, fortifying the counter zone is a play that I've gone with. It just hurts, and I want someone to tell me that it's okay. I want someone to tell me that I've come up with the right mindset for the optimal play style. So,
I would say.
What do you think?
3 runes, turn 1, and since the runes, you have no way of getting the runes back. I would say like maybe it's a bit too. You're committing a bit too much because like.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's like it's not like if you isolate a card, and let's say you incinerate a card.
It's not like you're getting.
Let's say the unthinkable.
Turn.
Yeah, let's say the unthinkable happens and he summoned 2 cards with 250 attack. You said that really casually the first time. I'm like, okay, who's rocking 250 turn 1?
No, you make a good point.
What deck is pulling up with 500 attack turn 1?
No. You know what? You make an excellent point. You use turn 1 to scout and you don't strong arm immediately. I think that makes a lot of sense. I was just worried in the stability of the turn 1 play. I think doing it turn 1 might be the most consistent, just in case you get thrown. But I think the smartest and a bit more versatile way.
It's a genuine question. What deck is bringing 500 turn 1?
I mean, Wanderings can if they want to.
Okay.
Right? If they go Ryu Torsion Wukong turn 1. That is Torsion in counter. Sorry, no. Torsion and Ryu in assault. Wukong in counter. Monkey King. That's 300 plus 250. Boom. That would be enough to break through that wall. However, I would be isolating 1 card, most likely Ryu. So that would be okay. Yeah, I would still live in that situation. Hey, yo. Yeah. I'm kind of clean with it.
You isolate Ryu
and then ignite Torsion, and he would have to kill himself, right? So the counter zone is
200.
Yeah. So that is. Yeah. You are right. No. I'm being way too cautious. Don't need to strong arm turn 1. I'm just trying to figure. I'm trying to. You know what? When I try to solve like the turn 1 for a given deck. I think now I feel more comfortable about this deck's turn 1. Okay. So go ahead and reveal. Right.
Have you strong arm?
Yeah. No. I've taken it out.
Okay, cool.
Right?
So, I guess I'm revealing first?
Yeah, of course you are. Right?
Well, okay.
Gotta do one for Nat called the
Deja
mother.
Vu.
That's not cool enough
been
to have
in
a
this
card.
place. Oh, damn. Hey, yo.
It was a joke. Just stay over there. Just stay over there. It was a joke. Why?
Because I had to hear it twice. Because I was using my earbuds. So I heard you say it out loud and then I heard it in my ears.
I'm sorry.
Give me a word.
Ah! Okay. Do you feel better?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. I summon Aura of the Aria in the Nexus. Man. Right?
Okay.
Would be an interesting Exodia-like effect when the mother and father are played, your opponent becomes a child and they lose the game. And they get grounded. Bro. Ooh, Mocha's turn
Mocha's.
1. Look at you switching it up, my guy. Okay.
I literally told you I overrated Ifrit.
True,
That guy
true.
is deleted.
I thought you would go Phoenix turn 1 because Mocha's turn 1 can't do anything. He can't do anything until a wandering card takes a hit, whereas Phoenix can do something anytime. But again, the drawback is that Phoenix limits your attack and Mocha's doesn't. I love that balance between them. Okay, all right, let's go. I reveal Nadia in the defense zone.
Guardian.
As
Deja
one
vu.
does.
I've been in this place before.
You have indeed. I summon Invictus Encounter. 2 runes.
DOS.
All right. Movement-
Struggling, are we?
Literally.
Wow.
All right. So
You placed it in the impem column. You can't activate this rune now.
Shut
'cause
your
it's in
mouth.
my impem column.
Bro, with how few rune spaces there are, if we ever introduce like an imperm column type effect, that's gonna be messy. That's gonna be tough. Right? Okay,
I
so
remember like back in the like a few months ago, you were saying like, "Oh, I want to introduce Mech Knights."
no, that was no. So to be fair, something like Mech Knights, I still think could work to an extent. But it would have to be you summon cards based on your own rune placement because rune placement is so inconsistent. But I don't know yet. I'll think of it later, right? But I think that's possible. But like a negate based on columns would be a problem. So I wouldn't have like negates like that or anything like that. But yeah. So movement phase.
Save the VOD for like 5 years when you create like column
The most
negate,
broken
skill
thing in the world.
drain.
Yeah. So wave start. I activate.
Tracks when to
Bruh.
activate this card, you just negate 2 columns.
Don't talk to me. I'm not. That's a problem for Future Soul. I activate introduction. Also,
Well,
Aria's
introduce
cooked.
yourself.
Aria's. I hate you. But also, Arias did a good job last game. I feel like we didn't actually give them the credit they deserve. They sort of held it down. I don't think they could work in a lot of decks, but here they sort of shine.
I mean, I would say they can.
Right? Because again, the reason why I say they don't fit in most decks is because they have to take up 3 spaces in your opening hand. Right? The reason why the strategy gets so reliant on draws is because the 3 Arias take up so much space. But the strategy, because they have to be played on specific turns, you can't rely on top decking them because if you don't top deck it on the right turn, that's it. Strategy's dead. So yeah, that's why most decks I feel like wouldn't be able to fit it because that means your main strategy is down to RNG. One of the few decks that can manage with that because they all do the same thing is the Fighty Boys, Ancient Beasts. Right?
Gladiators, Ancient Beasts.
No,
minus.
No, Gladiators need all of them. Minotaurs can do it because Minotaurs take 1 card for their turn 1 play. But then after that, I don't think they have the pressure that Ancient Beasts would be able to maintain. Minotaurs are good supportive, but in terms of being like an actual independent deck, I think Ancient Beasts do that better. Because like with Minotaurs, all you need in your opening hand is red.
This is definitely the best Aria mix.
Oh yeah, right. So yeah, that's it. Oh wait, what if it was negate the card in the same zone on your opponent's side? I've considered that, but then like that feels like such a gamble because if your opponent just, I guess it creates a mind game. Like, okay, which zone am I gonna put my runes in if my opponent is gonna get to negate one of the zones? But I don't know. We'll see. Right? That's for way later down. Again, a problem for Future Soul. Anything to activate in the in the wave start?
New.
Okay, I activate freeze. Sit your ass down. You don't move. You stay where you are. You stay. This goes. Oh wait, what did I just do? I'm sorry. That doesn't go to great.
The heck?
He doesn't know.
Hey yo.
Freeze kind of busted. Bro. Yeah. So, battle phase 1. Would you like to activate your effect?
Before battle phase.
Your card exchange.
End of movement phase.
Of course. So just getting a free draw 1 is insane. It's insane. But again, I created this. It's I think it's balanced. It's just crazy to me that you just draw one. You just draw one.
Belly drum.
Of course. Right? Adding a card from deck to hand as one does.
Yep. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
There we go. So flip. Did I get lucky?
Very nice.
Yes, I did.
Shuffle, shuffle. You know what would be crazy if off of your card exchange you top decked the rank 3, so you wouldn't be able to use belly drum, but you would be able to summon it.
Yeah.
Right, that would be so cool. So I feel like you actually want to maybe top deck it, but then that limits with the other thing. No, maybe the search is better. Anyway, battle movement phase 2 happens.
Is a non-committal pure plus play.
Exactly, right? Movement phase 2 happens. I'm assuming you're not attacking. I activate this rune, Ignite. I target Boss Guardian because he's the only one who makes sense right now. And that is the end of the turn. Right, so turn 1, relatively straightforward.
I lost 200. How many shit did you lose?
I lost 250. Thank you for the reminder. Putting me at 950, giving me turn priority because I hurt myself.
Okay.
I draw for turn. Give me something good. Yes! Yes! Okay. All right, we're cooking with gas a little bit now. We're cooking with a little bit of gas. Thanks, Saul. How you trying to do this? What you trying to do? Don't mess it up this time, okay? Think. How aggressive are you going to be? How aggressive are you really going to be? What do I expect of you, Neoshock? What do I take you for? You're not gonna come at me with that much heat turn 2. That's not who you are. Or is it? It feels like that's who I am. Are you me? This is... I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Oh, runes add such a mind game to this game, bro. Because if you miss it, like I missed every rune activation last turn. Oh.
Yeah, I'll incinerate. I just realized I don't have it. So I'll just
cool.
incinerate your boy.
My boy. Alright, cool. That's fine.
So he just loses 100. It's not too big of a deal.
Alright, that's cool. I guess we're at turn 2, so I'll give you your second chip. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm at 0, you're at
100.
100. Ooh, so I'm gonna pure ass.
Well, we'll see. Ooh. I don't want to commit too much. This is where the skill comes in, bro. This is where the skill comes in. I really hope I don't regret this. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, wait. Oh, did I mess up? Do I count that as messing up? Yes, I do. Okay, yeah. Now I'm ready.
Oh, you're gonna try and hide the bozos in the back. Okay.
Yeah. Alright, now I'm ready. Hit me.
Okay.
Hit me.
A bit sly, yeah.
Hit me. Let's go.
Okay, I'll do the same. I'll try to hide the bozos in the back.
I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean by that?
Guess we'll find out.
Alright, bet. Let's go. I have turn priority. I give it to you, good sir. Go ahead and reveal your first card.
Senor Mraga.
As one does, of course. I reveal Valor, Huntress of the Ancient Beasts, in the counter.
I reveal Dwarshan
You little
in
bitch.
in the assault.
I reveal Merides of the Aria in the defense zone.
I reveal Ryu in the counter.
I set 2 runes face down and end my turn.
I want to ask a question. So,
Yes.
Ryu is in the counter, right?
He is indeed.
So, I can activate Kirin to put him in the assault.
Indeed you can.
Okay. Because I was wondering, like, why do we never just, like... Because you're unlikely to just use Switch. So,
Yeah.
on turn 1 especially.
Yeah.
So, why not just give him a free 100?
I think it depends. What I like to try and do is I play him in the assault zone so I can be aggressive, and then I tend to use Dragon Dance more than I use Kirin. It's like, okay, I put all my stocks in offense, and if things go wrong, like once I see what my opponent is coming at me with, I can then decide, do I Dragon Dance for defense or do I just stay on it? If I were to put him in the counter zone, I wouldn't get the offense.
Yeah, you get both.
No.
You get it off.
So if I put him in the counter zone, and my opponent doesn't summon, well, I guess I get what you mean in the sense that yes, if I see that there's no problems, I can go Kirin instead of Dragon Dance. So I get what you mean.
You can even, yeah,
right. So you would have the option to use either. I don't know. I just kind of like having the effect, like just having the knowledge that if I need it, I can use an effect on Ryu. But I think you might be right. Ryu in counter might actually be the more optimal way to play him. I might just be a bit too scared.
If anything, you can do
right.
If your opponent's committing best to the counter, you can do switch.
Yeah.
If your opponent is committing best to the assault, you can do Dragon Dance, or if you just want to straight up attack.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I think I agree with you. I think Ryu counter is more optimal than anything else. So that makes sense, right? Yo, Solomon. Yes, another day, another grind. How you doing, friend? Welcome. Right. So, turn 2, wave start. That turn cost me 200 life points.
This cost me 450.
Nice. Wait, where's the 50 from?
Swamp Boys.
Oh, right. So 50 off of the summon of the rank 2. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Does it? How did you get to 450?
100. So Ryu 200.
Ryu 2.
Torsion
yeah.
100.
1.
And
you summoned
Mygra
Mygra this turn. Right. My bad. Mygra just hit the field. That makes sense. Right? Okay, cool. Oh, all right, and just like that, I have life advantage. All right. Let's keep it like that. So, movement phase, sorry, wave start. Do you have anything to activate?
Yeah, so I activate Kirin, I activate Orion's belt.
Right.
And we're good.
Alright, cool. I activate Chorus, meaning that my Arias get fortified on summon, and this card was summoned with 150 attack and defense, so that is sorted. I think I am good as well, my good man. Alright, let us proceed to do battle. Movement phase 1, these 2 cards move up. You battle phase, would you like to use anything at the end of movement phase 1?
You definitely have. You probably anticipated one of these guys dying, so.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do actually.
Okay, all right. So what's your play? You activating anything end of movement phase, or are we going straight to battle phase?
Yeah, we're going straight to battle.
Straight to battle phase. All right. Start of battle phase 1. Do you have any effects to activate?
Yeah.
Alright, hit me.
Will leap and summon.
Okay, as you do. What effect do you want to use on summon?
Is he on the field? Bro.
Yeah, he's in your hand, isn't he? Put him on the field.
I'm summoning him.
What are you doing?
Place him down.
Put the card on the field.
I'm trying to get him out here.
Okay.
There we go.
What is happening?
Good question. Where's he at?
Okay, he flew off the board. Here he is.
Okay, there he is.
Okay. All right. So he's here. He's alive. Have we been through any new subsets today? No, we've just been play testing a new strategy that was created. It's not even with new cards. It's the same cards, but in a way that no one had ever thought to play them before, and it's going really well. It's a new like meta strategy, and it's making some great things come to light. Right. So you're activating Leap.
And I'll reduce Valor by 150.
All right, as you do, Valor is at 50 attack. The strongest card on the field is Ryu. Do you declare an attack?
No.
All right, Imarag, do you declare an attack?
Wait, actually, so you have 150.
Yeah.
Valor isn't fortified.
No.
Him isn't fortified.
Correct.
You still have stronger arms, so you can get rid of one of these guys and give. No, you can't because it's the battle phase.
Correct.
You can't. I guess so. You'd have to use. What's the other rune? So if one of them is destroyed, you can add it back to your hand.
Correct.
So is it worth destroying your bozos?
Well, it puts you in a position where you've got 2 attackers per turn who make it past the counter zone, but at the same time, you don't know which 2 runes I have set face down. I'm just I'm just letting you assume. I mean, if you ask a question, I won't lie and be like, oh no, they don't have a rune like that. But I'm not going to tell you which 2 runes I chose to put face down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like if anything, that would be
right.
Yeah, so I have to attack Nadia first and then probably destroy it, but I have Leap this turn, so yeah. Yeah, I won't attack.
Okay, does Imarag choose to attack this turn?
No, I'm not attacking with anything this turn.
Alright, and Intuition's not attacking either?
Nope.
Oh, I bet. Okay, cool. End of turn. The last ignite counter gets put on both cards, putting this guy at 50 and this guy at 0.
He was pretty 0 minus 50 0.
Right? No, he got 50 from Orion's belt, so he loses 50.
Oh
again,
yeah, that is true.
Right? Don't worry, I got you.
He was saucy.
Yeah,
he was saucy there for a second.
I'm not about to try and cheat you, bro. I got you. So, end of the wave, I activate Ancient Pasture. The Ignite status has now been lifted from this card because the 3 turns have passed. 1, 2, 3. And so, therefore...
Wait, doesn't the Ignite happen on the next turn?
No,
or does Ignite happen at the end phase?
Wait, wasn't that the 3rd turn? Wasn't that the 3rd...
If you look at the turn counter, it says DOS.
Oh my goodness. Okay, my bad. So no. I don't remove the Ignite assassin. Because we were moving to the next turn, I put the counters on and then I was like, oh yeah, wait, there's still stuff to do.
Yeah,
no, so that doesn't work. Instead,
the counter would happen after.
Yeah, it would. So I'm gonna I'll just reset Valor. So she's back at 200. That's fine. And so he'll be at 50 next turn. It's the same thing but reversed.
Okay.
And yeah, I had time capsule. Doesn't work now. That's fine. Took a gamble. Didn't pay off. And we move to turn 3. Draw for turn.
Yeah, so he's at 50. Valor's at 200.
Exactly.
We cooking. So draw. Draw.
All right. Let's go. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I'm having fun. Okay, I'm ready. 1, 2, 3. I'm ready for you. Although you have lower life now, so I have to reveal first, which isn't great. Although I feel like with counter control, your strategy doesn't change based on what your opponent is doing. Like, I'm gonna do the same thing regardless. Damn, you thinking.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if I should use one of these runes or if it'll come in useful or not.
Well, you never know. I feel like counter control will get predictable after a while, so you might learn to know. But again, that's part of like a meta. Is like, okay, does anyone mix up the counter control strategy / play style at all? Bro, the balance. Oh, I want to stop talking about the balance, but it makes me so excited. Oh, like you reduce my attack by 150, but it's okay. But we can't. Wait, you're good?
I'm good.
Good as in what? What do you mean by good?
Good as in good.
Good as in you're not putting cards on the field. Good.
Yes.
Do you have a fever?
No.
This is the first time someone's not played. You're not playing anything.
Nothing.
Okay, you know what? I have a great deal of respect for it. I summon Golgotha, Queen Mother of the Giants, and I summon Vespera of the Aria in the defense zone with 1 rune face down. Vespera gains 150 on summon, and yeah, that's it. So wave start. I guess you would still have given me turn priority, even though you didn't have anything to reveal. So I activate Outro. The next card I summon becomes an Aria monster. And that's it for me. So we can move on up to the movement phase. Movement phase 1. This card moves to the halfway point. And next I'm going to... Yeah, I gotta do it. I'm going to activate Strong Arm at the end of movement phase 2 to send Invictus to Grave and fortify Valor in the counter zone. So Valor becomes fortified, and that is the end of movement phase 1. Any response?
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool. We move to battle phase 1. The cards on the field able to attack are...
Wait, actually...
Yes?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'll switch.
Okay, alright.
Because then Torsion dies.
Okay.
And Wukong and Ryu can do more damage.
Alright, that's fine. Battle phase 1, the strongest card on the field is Ryu. Who would Ryu like to attack into because he has to attack?
Yeah, Ryu can attack Nadia.
Okay, Ryu is at 250 attack, yes?
Kirin is at the end of the turn, right? Or is it? I think Kirin's permanent, or... No, until the end of the turn.
Yeah, Kirin is till the end of the turn, so Ryu at 250. Do I want to do this? Yeah, I think I do. I activate Golgotha, Queen Mother of the Giants, to tribute itself to the graveyard, boosting Nadia up to 300 defense, putting her 50 above the wandering Ryu. So Ryu crashes. Pow. Pow. Ryu crashes and dies. I activate Ally of the Ancient Beast, generating a token at 250 attack and 250 defense, and I put it in my
Wait, go off
zone.
attack and defense.
Yeah, it's either.
Okay.
Is it either or both? I don't even remember. Yep, tribute this card, increase the attack and defense. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So it's 100 boost to both stats. Oh, thank you. Right, that is 2. Is that both hundreds? Okay, and here's the other 100. Thank you very much. So 250 attack token. The next card on the field able to declare an attack is Tuertion at 200 attack. You don't really have a choice because he's been on the field for the full turn. So Tuertion attacks into Valor, who is currently fortified. Tuertion attacks, gets destroyed. Do you use Bound?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tuertion goes back to your hand. I activate Ally of the Ancient Beasts, using Valor to generate a token at 200 attack and place it in my assault zone. The last act. Ooh, wait, these. Wait, hold on. Such a scary position. I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, yes. Yeah, I'll put it in my assault zone. The last card on the field who's forced to attack is this dude at 150. Swings into Valor, gets destroyed. Valor is left with 50 attack. Damn, Valor, Ancient Beast put in work this turn, bro! Are you serious? Look at the state of the board right now.
Delicious.
Yeah.
You misplayed. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. There's a misplay on the field. You could have stopped this. Wait, pause. Thanks, Saul.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. If I hadn't, so since Golgotha abuse attack and defense, I should have definitely attacked the Arias, because like giving you Ryu is a bit hefty.
No, that does make sense. That's not even what I'm talking about, to be honest with you. That is one thing. Attacking the Arias, yeah, you would have been able to destroy this one. This one is fortified, so she'd still be here, and Nadia would still be at 200. But yeah, I wouldn't have the Ryu token, which is very important. The Nadia token wouldn't have been avoided by that, though. She still would have created a token for me. That being said, if I'm understanding this correctly,
why? So if I attack into
not the Nadia token, the Valor token. Valor. Off
yeah,
of
the Valor. Yeah,
yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
I misspoke. Lower than its original value. Oh no, it doesn't work. Damn. So in a world where Boss Guardian had some attack, you could have tributed Mokus to boost the defense of Boss Guardian by its attack value, which wouldn't have done anything for you. However, Mragra's effect of Trojan Assault would then have been activatable, allowing you to isolate one of my cards, in this case Valor, so you could have swung with Ryu into those, isolated Valor, and prevented me gaining any tokens. The only downside would have been that you just lose Ryu that turn. However, I don't think that play actually works, because I don't think it makes sense to be able to increase a card's... The whole point is to tribute to increase the stat by the other stat. If the stat is 0, just like how you can't Assault Thief with 0, you shouldn't be able to do that with 0. So no, even the play that I was thinking of doesn't work. So I think in your best case scenario, I don't have the Ryu token, and I think I would actually rather give up the Ryu token and just assume that you swung into this one, killed it, swung into this, it was fortified, and I only got the one token. I feel like that's, again, we're looking for optimal play, not to win.
Yeah. Cause like the Ryu token is kind of hefty.
It's hefty. It's hefty, isn't it? Right? So I feel like looking for optimal play is more important here. So in an optimal situation, that's what you would have done. So let's stick with it. Turn 4. Let's draw for turn. Oh, also life points for this turn. I summoned a 200 and a 100. So minus 300. I'm at 450. This game is a lot more, again, it's like a dance between these two decks, right?
Yeah.
I do think the switch was interesting, but I don't think it was less than optimal, because either way, something gives that turn. Like something goes south that turn. So
yeah,
I think I backed that
not
decision.
switching and like dragon dancing.
But you would have had to dragon dance start of turn.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like you were in a tough position either way, so I backed it.
It's not like a misplay, it's just
exactly, right?
Like in the hindsight, yeah, you should probably like, it's in the hindsight situation.
Exactly. So, draw for turn. Why does this keep happening? Why do I keep getting Maxim Opus turn 4? The turn 4 draw is so important for this deck. This shouldn't be happening. This should not be happening. Oh my days. Okay, alright.
So Torsion comes back turn 5, yeah?
What does Leap say? I don't even think that's the case anymore.
Oh, it just says return it to your hand.
Yep. When this card is destroyed from the graveyard, return it to the hand. This ability can only be used once per contest. I was going to say this card gets removed after it's destroyed again, but that seems way too weak. So it's just that it can only be used once, but you get it right back. Which means I'm in a sticky situation. The only I guess the one thing is Nadia is at 200 defense again because Ryu didn't hit her, he hit the other ones. So that is nice, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You know what? I think I'm okay with where I'm at. I think I'm okay with this. Am I okay with this? I might not be okay. We'll see. Anyway, all right. I'm ready for turn 4. Damn, you thinking. You went quiet there and everything. Oh, also, this would be at the halfway point, not over here, not in the thing, because movement phase.
Yeah, because like it was a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, you okay? Okay, so you're going in. All right.
Yeah, this is the turn.
I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited, bro. Okay, all right. Oh, there's so many plays that could be made here, bro. So many plays. This is fun. Okay. Wait a second. Am I insane? I might be insane. Wait. Okay, that's cool. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that could be heat. I just have to see what you summon. Okay. I'm at 450 at the start of this turn. My summon for the turn puts me below that. What are you at?
Well, actually, yeah, because if I attack the other ones, you still actually go Gotha. Yeah, so I just trade Ryu for. Alright, yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, I'm in. Wait, oh
So
wait,
you
hold
still
on.
have.
Wait, pause. Because if that's the case, I probably wouldn't Golgotha. I forgot that Golgotha was a factor in that battle. I probably wouldn't have Golgotha'd her because Golgotha activates after you've declared the attack. If you're attacking other cards, I'm probably using Golgotha.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Valor
So,
instead.
Oh, okay. So what I'm saying is I trade Ryu. Okay, I trade Merides for Ryu.
Yeah.
But if you actually go Gotha on this guy, then you lose your fortification.
Don't
So
I
it's
lose,
basically like
wait,
you keep.
Don't I lose fortification either way? Because
No, because you'd be at 150 plus 100 is 250, and I had 250.
Yeah, but if I'm fortified, so you have 250. Both of the Arias were at 150. Ryu was at 250. You hit the first Aria, you kill it. Ryu's at 100. The second Aria, you hit it. Ryu dies. Fortification is broken. That's the situation we're in right now. The only thing that's changing is where that extra 100 from Golgotha goes. And I'm trying
Yeah, so
to
I'm saying
decide-
if you use 100 on Merides, then you keep the fortification. That's just what I was saying.
No, I would still lose the fortification. Fortification, it doesn't matter how much attack you have for the fortification. As soon as you get hit, the fortification breaks. So it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you mean if I
Merides-
use it on the yellow boy? I'm so sorry. I was being dumb.
Yeah, Merides.
I don't know
is
their
yellow.
names yet. I forget sometimes. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is actually an interesting
So
question. Where
where
do I
you-
put that
so where-
200?
where
Where do
you-
I put
yeah.
that 100? The token wouldn't exist yet, so I can't put it there. If I put yeah, you're right. I would get to keep my fortification, but how meaningful is that? Like, I guess in this situation it could be quite meaningful, but I feel like, oh, and this is where the skill level comes in. I know you've got Torsion still, and I know you've got Wukong still. I feel like it makes more sense to have my counter zone be a bit more amped up. That way I can try and generate more tokens, because Nadia is in a position where if she gets hit, she might generate a token, but with Valor being so down bad, if she gets hit, she's definitely dying. So I could be safe and give it to Nadia and know that she'll survive, or I could play risky and be like, hey, maybe Valor generates another token for me before she goes out. I'm gonna boost Valor by 100, so Valor's at 150. Sorry, that was a lot of explanation. I just wanted to get like the thesis behind it, so you know it's not like a misplay per se. It's just a lot, like multiple lines of play that I think are decent.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. All right, so how much life are you at?
550.
Oh, so that means I would still have turn priority. Okay, so you go ahead and reveal first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dumb. I'm dumb and I'm bad and I'm wrong. Hold on, pause. Give me one more second to think.
Okay.
Give me one more second to think. I promise I'm not insane. No, I put the 100 on Nadia. I put the 100 on Nadia every time. It's not a question. It's not a question. 100 goes
Okay.
on Nadia. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I just had to. I had to do some mental gymnastics. Right? Wait. You're putting that in the assault zone? What are you doing?
No, I'm
Okay.
just summoning it.
Bro, you had me scared.
Sorry.
I summon Maxim Opus in the counter zone. She becomes an Aria monster on summon, gains 150 attack, 150 defense, and is fortified.
Portion.
Okay, and I only had one card, so you go ahead. You just go ahead.
How much attack do your token have?
200.
Oh yeah, because it's from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, fine.
Alright.
Wukong in 2 runes.
Alright, cool. So let's see if this is a point in time where it gets pulled back. This is where it gets interesting, right? So the very, very first thing that I do is nothing. I do nothing. Okay.
Oh, Wukong staff.
Of course. 250, 200. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else?
No.
All right. How does this work? No, I don't do anything. I don't do anything.
So we'll attack you.
Oh yeah, movement phase 1. Sorry, yeah, movement phase 1. Okay.
So you're at 150 and
I'm at 3.
you're at
No, 300. She's an Aria monster, which means that she gets the boost from introduction. She's fortified because of chorus, and she's an Aria monster because of outro. So 350 plus fortified. Not 350, 300. 300. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 350
Oh, and you're
total.
still at 200 because you used strong arm.
Who?
Valor.
Wait, did I?
Valor's not.
Are you sure?
E...
Oh shoot!
Oh yeah, no, no.
Wait, no.
You use.
I used strong arm. I gave up Invictus. Invictus went to Grave. Who did you hit Valor with?
I hit Valor with Torsion. And that's
No. Yeah, no, I'm at 50.
And then I hit
you hit
Valor
with the Ogre at 150.
Varrock, yeah.
So yeah, 50.
Yeah. So
right?
you're at 50, yeah.
So end of movement phase 1. I activate Lancia Verita. Shoot, do I? Yes, I do. I activate Lancia Verita to remove Valor from the game and increase my life points by 100.
Oh, okay. So.
Yeah, that's why.
No tokens, I guess.
Sorry?
No more tokens. Okay.
No, because I've still got Nadia. That's why.
Yeah, but on.
I'm playing Golf 5.
5.
Yep.
And they're 4.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm playing Golf 5, so that's why it works so well in this deck. That's why Nadia gets the 100 every single time, because you might as well just use this fortified to protect yourself and let Nadia be the one to handle making any more tokens if the need arises. Right? So, battle phase. Do I want to do anything else? Wait, pause. Sorry, give me a second. Oh, you're so scary. I don't like you. So, end of the movement phase. Do you have anything to activate?
I'm just doing quick maths.
Go ahead. Oi, 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 oi. What say you, good sir? What is this math you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, I'll keep it steady. I'll leap.
Okay, leap is being activated. That's absolutely fine. So you bypass. Cool. Battle phase 1. Do you activate any effects?
Yeah, I'll Phoenix.
Okay, on to who?
A Wukong.
Okay, Wukong at 400 now, minus 50 because he is now ignited. So Wukong at 350. You got anything else?
No.
Oh, right, sorry, I forgot to move this up. Okay, who does Wukong choose to attack? Oh, no, you use Monkey King this time.
Yeah.
You use Monkey King, so you can't. Okay, fair enough. So Wukong forced to attack into Maximum Opus at 350. She's fortified. She doesn't die from the battle. Wukong is at 50 attack. And that is how that confrontation ends. Next battle would be... Who has turn priority right now? Is it me or you?
I lower life points.
You had lower life. Did you give me turn priority? I don't remember. Who revealed first?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, because
Wait, but tuition is tuition is bigger, so it doesn't matter anyway. I thought we were tied for attack, so I was trying to see who had priority. No, you had. So tuition would attack first. That's fine. So does tuition decide to declare an attack? Oh wait, no, hold on. No, sorry, I confused myself. We're not at the end of movement phase 2. You've leapt, but that doesn't put you in the defense zone. This is just visual. Sorry, I'm the one confusing us. So let's just put this over here for the time being. But I know you've leapt. Okay, so movement phase 2. Tuition hops all across. Oh, and also this would have had to attack and move in battle phase 1. I attack into Boss Guardian, killing it. You get a draw 1, but you don't get to draw 1, so that's not great.
And I'll isolate.
Isolate the token?
Yeah.
I bet that's absolutely fine. I was wondering when you were going to use the isolate. I think that's a good shout. So this goes to Grave, and so yeah, movement phase 2 had happened. Tuition moves along. Token stays where it is. End of movement phase 2. I activate Vespera of the Aria's second ability, Melodic Harmony. When the movement phase ends, you can send an Aria card you control to the graveyard. Target a card on the field. That target is returned to its point of origin. I send Aura of the Aria to the graveyard to return Tuition to your assault zone.
Okay.
And that is my last play because I don't wanna. I'm not ready to lose my my guy. I'm not ready to lose my guy yet. So that's that. End of turn 4. What the hell? What do you have? Stop. Stop.
We'll just use Anim.
What? Hey, yo! Oh, Brock, thank you
Get
for the membership, bro. I appreciate that massively. Anim, get Phoenix. That makes perfect sense. Thank you very much, friend. I appreciate words. I appreciate that. Thank you. Right? I'm glad you've been enjoying the content so much recently. You've been coming to the streams. It's been fun. Thank you. What about your last rune, my good man?
It was protection. What's it called? Barrier.
Oh, okay. So it never ended up being usable. Fair enough. So yeah, that would be end of turn. Yeah, good stuff. Turn 5 rolls around. Wukong goes to 0 attack. I draw for turn.
No, it was a glaze, not even barrier.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Oh yeah, wait. So yeah, I can put Wukong back to point of origin.
Ooh, yeah, you could have. Okay, yeah. Hold on, wait. Let me double check.
Does it target?
A card? Yes, it does in fact target. So Wukong can be put back to his point of origin. Solid counterplay. I actually love that someone's used that accurately. Okay, so Wukong goes back to point of origin. He'll be at 0 at the start of the next turn, so it doesn't really matter. Who does Tuition decide to declare an attack on? That is actually really hype.
So yeah, you can still make a token. So You have 300 defense. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Torsion won't declare an attack.
Torsion won't declare an attack. That's absolutely fine. And that would be the end of the turn, but very good counterplay. All right, so you still... So yeah, he goes down to 0. It's turn 5. I've drawn for turn. Are you out of cards?
I still have cards in hand.
Damn, okay. Oh, okay, you've got cards in hand. That makes sense. I was concerned. I was concerned. Thanks, Saul. Now, in a best case scenario for you, you summon the Phoenix again, and you Phoenix onto Tuertian. But then I never need to worry about Tuertian being able to kill me, so I can just leave him alone. Or you Phoenix onto Wukong. Wukong would then be at 200 minus 50. He'd literally be back to his original stat value of 150. He's not killing me, so I don't need to worry about that. Which means, and you've used Ryu, you've used Miragra, you've used Wukong, you've used Tuertian, you've used Mokus. Wait a second, but if you Mokus onto Wukong, he's got 100 defense. So you could actually make it up to 250, which still isn't enough to get past, so I still don't need to worry about that play. Which means that offense is the way. Okay, cool. Ready for turn. I got my plus 100. Yeah, I'm at 450. What are you at?
300.
All right, you got turn priority. Would you like me to reveal first?
Let me...
Right? I think I'm calling it. Work awaits in the morning. Bye, everyone. Oberak, have a great night. Take care, my friend. Thank you very, very much for the support. We'll catch you later, bro. Right? So, what say you, my good man?
Yeah, I'll set 2 cards.
Set 2? I'm assuming that you want me to reveal first?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I reveal Leonidas, Adventurer of the Ancient Beast, in the Assault Zone.
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
I have Phoenix in the Nexus.
In the Nexus.
And the Rune.
You have picked up Phoenix twice.
Stay there. There we go.
Alright, cool. Alright. Vibin'. That sounds good. That sounds good to me. Alright, let's do it. Wave start. Anything to declare?
No.
Alright. Movement phase 1. These cards move up. Wukong's been set back to 0 by... Not back to 0, but he's been set to 0 by the Ignite. Do you... End of movement phase 1, do you have an effect you'd like to activate?
Done. So, if I...
Also, you only summon Phoenix this turn, so that's only minus 50. Not bad.
Yeah.
It's getting sticky now, isn't it? It's getting... This is where, like, the rubber meets the road. Because these are, like, the last plays of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Tuertian's gonna be forced to attack this turn as well. Which, you know, that's so much fun. Think, Saul. What do I want? What would I like to achieve here? What makes me happy? Oh my goodness, it's turn 5. But you can, so, you know, you can kind of see the difference between, like, when the strategy is played optimally versus when it isn't. You see how big a difference that one placement makes in terms of the tokens being generated and, like, the lock you can have on your opponent at times?
Yeah, like, you need to, like, play optimally to never
let me get a token.
Give them
exactly.
If they get a token, it's
it's tough. And it's very hard to not give them one with all of the defensive pressure that they have. Like, to not let even a single token slip, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Fortification is a hefty.
At first it didn't seem that wild, but once everyone started using it, bro, fortification is crazy. And I think Arias, every deck sort of has a specialty, I would say. For Ancient Beasts can become fortified, but Arias is like, okay, this is what we do, right? We're gonna fortify you. We got you, my guy. So it's just a match made in heaven, honestly. Maxim Opus, bro, this card for stall decks, like, I thought that if you drew this turn 4, it wasn't good, but then just put it in the assault zone at 300. That's still a big wall and it's fortified, and it can still do what it does, right? Like, you're just in such a healthy position. I think there are things that can go wrong, but generally speaking, this strategy is really tough to go against.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm ready for movement phase.
All right, so end of movement phase 1, I activate Voyage. I tribute this token to the graveyard. Am I stupid? No, I'm not stupid. Yeah, I might be stupid. I return the Wandering Tuertian to your hand.
Okay.
That's my only play for end of movement phase. Next thing up is Battle Phase 1. The only card on the field able to declare an attack is the Wandering Wukong, who is forced to attack. He's at 0. Do you have any effects to activate?
Yeah, we'll do Mokus and Phoenix.
Okay, that puts him at a solid 250. He swings into Maxim Opus and dies, leaving Maxim Opus with 50 attack.
Mm-hmm.
All right. End of the battle phase.
Well, actually, not Maximus Opus. I'll use Wukong's staff.
Okay.
Because
yep.
To
that's
attack
a valid play.
Leonidas.
Okay, Leonidas at 200 dies. Very good revenge play. Chain of Momentum would still carry you into Maxim Opus, and you would still die. But solid play.
Wait, is that how it works? Like, I'm attacking all the way to the assault, and Chain of Momentum carry me to the counter.
Why wouldn't Chain of Momentum be a factor?
Because Wukong, he acts like he has proximity to whatever card he's battling, right?
Yeah, he can give himself proximity to whatever card he wants, correct?
So I have proximity to the assault zone, right?
I mean, I feel like that's a stretch. He's given himself proximity to that specific card, not to the zone as a whole. Like, if there were 3 cards in my assault zone, you wouldn't be able to attack all 3 of them with this effect. You get what I mean? Like, it's card specific. Or actually, no, that's a lie. You're correct, but it still has Chain of Momentum. It says, if a wandering avatar you controlled was sent to the graveyard this turn, when declaring an attack, this card can target cards in other zones on the field, which means that you do have Chain of Momentum, but you have proximity to everything, not one specific card. So you don't have to hit Maxim Opus, but Chain of Momentum doesn't just dissolve as a concept because you've used the ability. You can hit anyone you want on the field. So if anything...
So, can I hit the Nexus?
There's no cards in the Nexus.
No, I'm saying, like, are you fine with me being able to hit the Nexus?
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Right? I think that just increases Wukong's value, because that means without actually going into the Nexus, he can hit cards in there. But the way that ability reads, it's not like, oh, you declare an attack and you choose a target. It's you can attack anyone when you declare an attack, and with how the battles work, at the start of each cycle, you declare a new attack. So you just choose targets wherever you want to, which one day might become broken. But as of right now, that is because it's like, imagine you get Wukong to 2,000 attacks somehow, and he just clears the board by himself. Hopefully we never get to that point, but you know.
Yeah, it's kind of a counter to like the Reapers and like because last week when you said I come up with a broken deck, let's see if I thought you were gonna talk about Reaper.
No.
what's it called? What's the trash cards?
Reaper Harpies?
Yeah, I thought you're gonna be Reap. I tested Reaper Harpies.
No.
It's the secret sauce.
No.
And I'm like,
This was the
okay.
secret sauce. This, I think, is disgusting. I will be honest with you.
Yeah.
This, I think, is the
now that
strongest deck in the format.
Yeah, I'll say like substantial amount.
Right? Like, you have to play perfectly. And even then, I think you've played a great game. But still, this deck is really,
Yeah,
really
you have
strong.
to play perfectly to have a chance.
Exactly.
Kind of hefty.
Right? I think the only deck that might have a consistent chance against this is Reapers. I think there is
Yeah.
one card you could change to make this strategy nowhere near as viable. And I think I might end up doing it. If this deck ends up feeling like, okay, too oppressive, the only card that needs to be changed to make this strategy not as good is, in my opinion, Freeze. Right? Freeze turn 1 is the card that sets you up to have 400 points of defense in the counter zone from turn 2. If Freeze doesn't work turn 1, then if your opponent pushes you turn 1, they can clear your Invictus, and from that point, 2 of their cards have made it past your counter zone. And as you've seen, once cards actually start to make it past, it gets a lot harder for this deck to keep that momentum up, because now they have to focus on 2 zones instead of just 1. So a constant stream of cards in the counter zone is what lets them do that. Isolating a card turn 1 is what lets them set up safely. Take away that safe setup, it's still consistent what they do, but again, it's harder for them. So I think that is, if it becomes clear that this deck needs to be nerfed, I wouldn't even nerf the deck. I would nerf that generic rune.
What I would say, the card I would personally nerf is Strong Arm.
Okay.
Because I kind of see Strong Arm and Zodiac Barrier kind of similarly. Like they're both like trading a card to give another card fortified.
Indeed.
But like Zodiac Barrier, you have to still have to place the value of the attack lost. But Strong Arm, you just get like free value. You just get like,
I wouldn't call it free,
get rid of
because
like
unlike with the Wandering card. With the Wandering card, you get to keep both cards on the field, whereas with this one, you actually have to sacrifice a card. Like, I get that it's strong, but I don't think that it's broken, because it's a 2. You gain a boost, but you still have to give up a card. In a situation where you can give up a weakened card, awesome. The card goes up in value, but that's the case with almost any card, right? If your opponent has put you in a position where you do control a card at 50 attack that's just there chilling, then yeah, get rid of it. But then, assuming you want to use the rune early game like I was doing before, I would have to give up a 200 attack monster to fortify another 200 attack monster, which is where I think the trade-off is. Because again, my aim isn't to kill the strategy. I feel like that is a part of the strategy that's needed for them to make it this far. I'm just trying to tweak it so it's not as broken.
What I'm saying is, maybe that's the balance.
I hear you. I see the direction that you're coming at it from. I don't necessarily agree, but I say we watch it. The first thing I would try to do is hit the isolate rune. If they're still too strong, then I would hit the fortification probably. Because again, I agree with you. Other than the isolation rune, I think fortification is probably the next thing where it's like, whoa, that's brazy. Why did I say brazy?
Because like I would say,
what's wrong with me? Anyway.
Because like fortification on the Aria card,
yeah.
Fortification on the next Aria card,
yeah.
Fortification on that rune.
So 3 fortified cards.
Yeah. So fortification basically doubles the stats.
Agreed.
Conceptually.
Agreed. But I think, again, there's counterplay to these things. Like, for example, if you're up against a deck so I think if I was in a situation, and again, not saying that I would be in this one, like let's say we have a turn 2 situation, there's a side deck. If I know my opponent is playing a deck that includes fortification, I'm playing underdog. That rune goes up in value because I can make my weaker card attack first, break the fortification, and then kill them with the stronger card, right? But again, that is in what's called a best of 3 kind of format. So I'm not saying that's like a blanket. Oh,
I mean, even that, because like if you use a weaker card, you're giving them the token.
You mean against specifically the ancient beast? I agree with you in that yes, they gain a lot of power, but my counter to that is even with them gaining a lot of power, the highest an ancient beast card is getting is 300. There are so many decks that go higher than that, right? there's so many outs that I don't think
Huh?
it's fair. Yeah,
Wait, so
right.
take if you take fortifications, doubles that's like 400.
I don't. So again,
I
so personally, I see what you mean when you say fortification doubles the stats, but I think the word double is disingenuous because yes, you get 300 twice the same way that Umbridge would get 300 twice, but you're not going above that 300. And saying 300 again disingenuous because they start at 200, so they need extra steps to get that extra 100. Like with how much setup this takes, because a lot of what's being done here isn't possible until turn 4. Right? You don't get the third fortification until turn 4. You don't get the second fortification until turn 3. I think that there's an answer, and I hear you, but I would probably hit the isolation before I hit the fortification, because I don't want to kill the strategy. I just want to adjust it. Right? Without that extra, because the amount of defensive pressure you need. Like again, remember that one change in play style where I played an Aria card in the counter zone, and you started cooking, right? I think this deck has a skill cap, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't want to kill it, but at the same time, I agree with you. It shouldn't be this oppressive, where it's like this is one of the best decks in the format we had up until now that I'm playing against, and from the looks of it, I mean, where are we right now? Where are we? End of turn 5 currently? I actually lost our place. So we're end of turn 5. Wukong is... Wukong is about to have to hit into something else. I'm assuming you're probably going to hit into Lancia Verita, into Maxima Opus, so that she's at 250.
Yeah.
So she's at 250. We're going to turn 6. The only offensive card you have in your hand is Tuition. There's this.
I don't have this. I have nothing.
No, I bounced Tuition back to your hand.
Oh, you bounced to your hand. Okay, yeah.
Right, I bounced him to your hand. You're at 300 life points. If you summon Tuition, you'll be at 200. I can literally do nothing and win the game. And if that doesn't work, I can send her herself to remove her from the game and gain an extra 100 life points, putting me at 450 by the time the game ends. Right? I think it's
you could have done nothing turn 5 and 6 and still won, because I was below you. Starting on turn 5.
No, if I hadn't bounced with Leonidas, you would have been able to attack with Tuition. You would have been able to use the Phoenix on Tuition, destroy Nadia. You've still got, so Leonidas would then be forced to attack into. No, he wouldn't be able to attack at all. 200 against 250.
If I use Phoenix on Tuition, then you have nothing to worry about, because Tuition can never attack you directly.
Oh, true.
And Wukong would die.
True.
So
I forgot he couldn't attack directly. Yeah. So in that situation, from turn 5 the game was won. Right.
Yeah.
From turn 5 the game was won. So this deck makes it to turn 6, but doesn't even really need to. Which again, it's crazy to me that this strategy existed in the game the whole time, and we just never considered these lines of play. I'm guessing that felt pretty oppressive. Like, it felt fun, but at the same time, by the time you got to the end and realized that there was nothing you could do, I'm assuming that didn't feel great.
It's the type of situation where you're at end of turn 4 and just like, where's the surrender button?
No, that makes sense. I think...
Because there's a difference between reaching the end and be like, oh, okay, let me try and do something to maybe, but then you're just reaching the end and you're like, throw this spare.
So, again, I have another point that I wanted to make, and I think I was sort of on the edge, but I think I am definitely going to go about it by nerfing Isolate first. And I don't even know if I'm going to do that immediately. And the reason why I say that is I strongly believe that this deck does have a skill curve to it. And let's take game 1 versus game 2. I missed every rune activation in game 1. Every single one. The one that resets the Ancient Beast attack and defense, I missed it. The one that gets me a card back that gets destroyed, I missed it because I misjudged the game state. In this game, I also missed the rune that that would have gotten me an Ancient Beast back to my hand, but I didn't miss the rune that reset my attack and defense, and that's what put Valor in a position where she was still able to fight to potentially generate another token. And that changed the whole layout of the game, because instead of Invictus being at 50 and Valor being at 50, Valor was at 200, which is the only reason I got that token, which is what, you see what I mean? Like, if I hadn't timed that correctly, that's probably the weakest point. If I'm at 50-50, I've lost that rune, and you kill both of those cards in those situations, everything you had in the counter zone, Tuition, I think Wukong, and Swamp Boy all make it through, right? So I don't think it's entirely, because something being too strong and also something being without skill, like, it's consistent, but I don't think it isn't without risk. We'll go with the Isolate for now, if it proves to be too much, because changing that card means that Ancient Beast is affected in every single deck that it plays in, not just in this one, right? So I'd rather try and nerf the generic stuff before nerfing the archetype.
I mean, yeah, I would say, like, I don't think changing the fortified rune, because I feel like it's not even just changing it because it will affect the other decks in like a crazy negative way. I just think that it's making more like sense back. Sorry, basically turning.
Neo, you're cutting. Can you say again?
I'll say it probably makes more sense to me balance wise to make, by sacrificing a card, your other card gets to survive 2 battles.
So you're saying, wait, so what are you trying to say on that point?
That just makes more sense balance wise.
For you sacrifice a card, one card gets 2 battles?
Yeah, so you have to, for Strong Arm, you have to tribute an Ancient Beast with its original stats.
I don't agree. I feel like that's too handholdy. Again, because I hear you, but I see the same thing in other decks. And it's like, is that really fair? Like, for example, if you want to go the route of saying Strong Arm allows one Ancient Beast card by sacrificing another Ancient Beast card to double its stats, so from wherever it is, 200 or less, because assuming that you have Ancient Beast cards that have taken damage, it's less than that. Compare that to a Grimace, which pops a card on the field for you, dies at 200, and soaks up another 200. It's the exact same thing, just different. The only difference... Oh, what's this? Oh, thank you. Right? Or Ancient Beasts, or Wandering, which is able to recycle that 200 boost from the Phoenix, or Forest Guard, which every single turn can snapshot with each card getting like 150 plus, right? It just doesn't seem that insane, in my opinion. I feel like why it feels bad when you get destroyed by an Ancient Beast versus those other things is, when you get destroyed by an Ancient Beast card, they get a token and you don't want them to get a token, right? So I get why it feels worse, but it doesn't feel unfair in my opinion, right? They had to give up a card to make it happen, so it's not like they get to do it for free. They have to minus somewhere. If they're in a position where they can minus comfortably, awesome, good for them. The gameplay situation led them there, but they're not doing that turn 1. If they do that turn 1, well then that means they're giving up a fully healthy card in order to make the play. You can't activate the card during the battle phase, so you can't let a card get hit and then halfway through the battle phase tribute it. A card has to fully survive on its own merits without being fortified for you to get that effect. At which point you would have already gotten the token from that card's battle anyway if it survived that fight, right? I just don't think it's as broken as in isolation as you feel, but in this specific deck, that, because again, that has been the case in every, like, this was always the case. They've had this ability, they've been doing this, but it only feels bad here because of how meaningful it is with this style of play if they get the token. That's what I think makes the difference. I don't think that what they're doing with the fortification is any different from what anyone else does in terms of the regular lines of play, right? Ancient Beast going from 200 to 400. I mean, Ryu can go from 250 to like 650. Hadrian can go from 250 to 400 consistently. Umbridge gets 300 every single time he fights. I don't see it as being that different. It's just the control element of this deck. It's suffocating here, whereas those other decks just do that kind of thing freely. So I hear you, but at the same time, that's not what I would change first. It's not. And to be honest, I don't even if the isolation change doesn't work, I don't even know if I would change it then, because I feel like it's a thing that matters for the deck. If anything, what I might change would be, I might hope to look at synergy ratings at that point, but that would really hurt Ancient Beast even more. So I would probably look at the Aria synergy ratings and perhaps create more Aria cards to allow for something like that. Just something
I'll
to
say
avoid.
that if you don't want to change the fortification on Strong Arm, then I would say probably like reduce the boost or reduce the fortification on the Aria cards.
But that also doesn't feel fair. They just got a chance to play. This is the first time where they've even been remotely viable. I don't want to immediately kill it just because it looks good. Right? Like, again, this is the first deck where it's been like, hey, these cards actually fit. So do we just make them worse so that no other deck even wants to think about touching them? I don't feel like that's good game balance. I feel like that's killing one thing so everything else feels better, rather than actually balancing it out. Right? I feel like we try the small change first. If it doesn't work, we take it from there. But I do agree that this is our problem deck right now, because I don't think it's broken like, oh no, there's no way to come back, it's way too far off. I think it's on the edge. It's just pushed over broken. If we pull it back by just a bit, I genuinely think it'll be okay. If anything, the difference between game 1 and game 2 kind of showcases that. Right?
I would say, in a counter to that, I would say like, if you look at the other like minor subsets, Aria's putting in work, like even in a vacuum. So you have like, it's just depending on like, if you play all of them, you just have 2 150 bodies. That's what, 300 and fortified. So you don't
get fortified. So you need to play at least 2 of them, and those 2 wouldn't be fortified. No. So I'm gonna correct you, because I think again, the one game is sort of skewed how you see them. They're being used very well here, but most decks can't use them this way. The first card, if played on turn 1, makes it so that the rest of the Arias you summon gain 150. That card itself doesn't get the 150. So that's one card slot in your hand that effectively does nothing if you don't play at least one other Aria. The second card, if specifically played on turn 2, makes it so that when you summon more Aria cards, they get fortified, specifically and only on turn 2. So another slot in your hand that has to get taken up. Only Arias get fortified by the effect, and that card itself isn't fortified. It's just a vanilla 150 beater. So you've just spent 150 life points for 150 defense or attack, right? That's quite literally, in the context of the game, nothing. It only comes together if you then play the third card, which is the first card that would be fortified, and it has to be played on turn 3 or you don't get to induct another card into the Aria subset, which means 3 cards in your starting hand have to be taken in order for this strategy to actually play out. When it works, awesome, cool, but most decks cannot support that kind of playstyle, because only having 2 cards from your main strategy turn 1, that's tough for a lot of decks to do, right? I don't think Reapers could afford to only have 2 of their cards turn 1 and then just have to randomly draw the others. I feel like the only deck that's really, really comfortable with that randomness is Ancient Beasts, right?
I would say Wandering and Forest Guard could do it.
Tell me how Forest Guard could do it.
So Forest Guard, I would say.
Who are the 2 Forest Guard? Who are the 2 Forest Guard cards that you play?
I'll probably say Selenis and Minus.
Selenis, Minus, okay, all right. So turn 1.
Rank 1.
So turn 1 you Selenis, turn 1 you Minos in where? Attack, counter.
Yeah, so you put Minus in attack, Selenis defense, Aria in Nexus.
Aria in Nexus, okay, that sounds.
Actually, Aria in counter, because you're not playing with the life gain stuff this time, so.
True, you wouldn't have room for the life gain, so fair enough. Aria in counter to try and soak up a hit. Arya dies when you get hit. Second hit goes into Selenis. I'm assuming you use a counter to negate the destruction. Minos can...
You can negate the attack with minus.
That's what I'm talking about. You use a counter to negate the thing with Minos, and then you use the rune to negate the destruction on Selenis. You've got one card set up. Next turn, you play the second Arya card. Your opponent still has 2 cards in your defense zone ready to hit you, mind you, right? So the next turn, they can get another 2 also ready to hit you. So there's not much for them to break through. If you summon the second Arya in the defense zone, that's a 150 defense, which, I mean, anyone can eat that up. Plus 2 other cards, potentially, ready to fight. Selenis doesn't have a way to survive past the turn, so I can realistically see you making it past that. You know, maybe block one of the attacks using Selenis. You don't know what you would have top decked, so it could be literally anything. You might have gotten Dryad, you can't say that you would have gotten Centaur Sage because it's completely random. So at this point, you negate one attack, and Minos is forced to attack. If you're using Minos' negate, that means Minos is attacking at 150. Minos is dead. Right? If you choose not to negate the attack, Selenis is dead. Fair enough. And to be honest, I don't really know where you go from there because you've got 150 in the defense zone. The next turn you get a fortified 150, but you've done nothing to stop your opponent from mounting an offensive strike on you. So they could have as many cards as they want at your doorstep, ready to kill you. And you've not really got anything to deal with that. Not to mention, if they're playing something like Minotaurs or something like that, they've already started dealing damage to you when they broke through your defenses. Oh, we got disconnected.
From TTS?
Yeah, from TTS. It's okay. I think we're done testing. Now it's just a conversation around it, right? I genuinely don't... Steam failed without something. I don't know what's gone wrong. In any event, I don't think it's optimal. So it's not unplayable, but it's definitely not optimal. 1.
Yeah,
2,
they're definitely not the source.
My next point that is more important than that, to be fair, is if you're playing Arias with the Forest Guard, that means you cannot play Entity and you cannot play Selenis. Not Selenis. You cannot play Centaur Sage because they're both SR8. So that's just not happening. Right? Like, Neo, I think this is the first time having an experience with the deck, so that reaction does make sense. But I think we try the smaller change first and then take it from there. Because I don't think it's as bad as it seems on the surface. Because for it to be as easy to crack as it was game 1, it's a really good strategy when it works, but I don't think it's being held together by that much. Right? I don't think it's doing anything.
I mean, I agree that maybe freeze is a bit too free.
Yeah, like just getting a free isolation lets you completely mix up the strategy of the game, right? Because with Ignite being able to do that, because that's what Ignite was doing. So I'm like, okay, they're both status effect cards, make them the same, but it's different because Ignite reduces the attack of the card, but it can still be part of your opponent's strategy, whereas freeze just
reduces by 150. Over
3 turns.
Free teeth.
Right?
Isolate is just like that card. Going nowhere this turn.
It's not doing nothing. And I think the freedom to do that, again, it's fun. I'm so hesitant to stop fun, right? Because a big problem that we've had up until now is like, hey, none of the generic runes are viable. Now the generic runes are actually like good, I think. There are a lot more good generic runes. And so the second we see something be good, being like, hey, let's stop that, it doesn't feel great, but I do feel like it's a better alternative.
Yeah, I'll say like good and being too good. I feel like just being able to like isolate any card.
I think maybe put a discard cost
Kinda
on it,
hefty.
because honestly, putting a discard card cost on that isolate rune completely screws this strategy. Right? Because
I feel like
cards become
more
very
healthy.
important. I think a discard cost. That way you can still target things freely if you want to, if you have that sauce. And some decks might even like that, like your Swamp Dweller sauce, right? They would be fine with discarding a card. That way, because I think just that one simple change takes a card away from this deck, because there's not a single card in my hand, not a single card in my deck that I'm not using in a meaningful way. Whereas with other decks, it's like, okay, one card can afford to be discarded and it's not that big a difference. Every single card is important in some way to keep the pressure up, because you need that pressure every single turn. So I think adding a discard cost is the fix. And we'll try that. And we'll see how the deck plays again on Friday. Bearing in mind, this is just against Wandering, although Wandering was something I expected to be one of the main counters to this strategy. So them being able to take Wandering, I guess it is just in one match, but still, with how big of
because
a
like
gap there
Wandering
was.
are able to like duck past the counter zone,
Exactly, and that's their
but
main
they
thing.
can't duck. But if you put the power from your counter to your defense, then it's kind of hefty for them.
I think what stopped you in the last game? Balanced and allowance of creativity? Exactly, right? So balance and allowance of creativity is what I'm trying to like find that mix for. I don't want to, because this is a fun strat. It's so different from everything else we've done.
It's
just
literally
refuse
what
to
you
kill
said,
it.
like just 150 defense in the defense zone. It just changed everything.
No, but it wasn't the so that's where I would disagree. It wasn't the defense. It wasn't the 150 in the defense that changed everything. It was the fact that you. Hello. Oh, hi. What was that?
What was
I could have sworn I heard someone say hello to me, but I could be completely wrong.
okay.
In
So
any event,
definitely hearing things.
In any event, put all that to one side. What I would say is it wasn't the 150 defense that made that big of a difference. You can get over 150 defense. I think what really made the difference was the fact that I was able to force you to either deal with my ancient beasts or bust, right? There was nothing else in the count. I think that was the actual difference, because in the first game, the defensive pressure didn't mean much. It was the fact that you could attack into a different card. You attacked into the Aria. I didn't get a token, and that changed the flow, in my opinion, of the rest of how that game went, right? Whereas in this one, if you attack me in the counter zone, most likely I'm getting a token. And even with that, we did multiple battles where you were able to come out on top still. It's just I was able to battle for longer, whereas you were able to battle higher. You had higher values, but I had more consistent pressure, is what I would say is the difference between these two decks. I think my second issue of where this deck does become very, very strong is when Leonidas eventually does come out. Once Leonidas comes out, if there's a token in play, it's a wrap. But then again, that's a core Ancient Beast card, so it's like, do you nerf that? I don't think you do. So let's touch the Isolate, see how it goes. If things need to be adjusted, we'll adjust them. But as of right now, personally, I'm happy with the deck. I think it is literally, it's just edged its way into tier 0. So let's pull it back to tier 1. If we make a new tier 1 deck, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it being the best deck in the game, right? I'm fine with it being at the top, but other things need to have a chance, because there's always going to be something at the top. We just happen to have found it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we'll look into.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's tier 0 in the sense that not everyone who's picking up the tier 0 deck can win every game.
Exactly.
You start winning after you know
Right.
what you're doing with the tier 0 deck.
But
once you do, it's kind of
you know what? You know what else I would say? And I don't know if I'm going to like this as an answer. Honestly speaking, the easiest way for you to have to win against this deck is to realize by turn 2 what I'm doing. Stop playing cards. Stop attacking. just put cards in counter and go at it that way. Out defense me, because if you're not attacking into my Ancient Beast, I'm not getting counters like we saw in game 1, right? I just had 450 stats just sitting there unable to do anything. So if you catch on to the strategy by turn 2, you will, because I don't get that life point lead until turn 3/turn 4. And if I don't realize that you've realized and I keep on summoning, then even if we make it to life, even with Maxima Opus, because she has to use 1 turn to recover the cost of her own summon, so generally speaking, she's only giving me plus 100 to plus 150 most games. So even with that, it's easy to counter. It's not a gameplay counter kind of thing where a deck has a strategy. The player themselves just kind of has to realize, hold on, I need to slow down. If you throw nothing but aggro at this deck, you will most likely lose. But still,
I mean, slow down and not playing the game is kind of different in my opinion.
I wouldn't say stop playing the game. Stop playing offensively. Right? Bolster your defenses, because once I realize that you strange courses, I'm probably going to come at you to try and break that defensive line. But I would have invested so many of my resources into the counter zone, I probably won't be able to do that before the game ends. So it's not that you stop playing, it's that you decide to play my game, right? I've been trying to force you to play my game. Now you force me to play yours, slow me down, and by the time we're done, I mean, Ancient Beasts are good at holding the line, but in terms of actually breaking through a defense, they could do all right, but 200 attack, it's not crazy. It's
Yeah,
not crazy.
fortified isn't helping them breaking anything.
Exactly, right? So I definitely think there's multiple lanes to counter this strategy. It's just not easy, and also it's new. I will be putting the discard cost on the isolate because that is kind of crazy. But if that kills the deck, I'm probably going to undo it, because the more I talk, the more I realize it's way too soon to say that this is as broken as we think it is. Again,
I mean, I would say it's definitely tier 0. Like,
no,
I'll say, like,
I don't
I'll
agree
say
with
from
you.
a balance perspective,
Neo, I don't agree
do you
with
not
you.
think?
Because again,
Because like
if you no, pause.
Wait,
If you had realized what I was doing while you still had Ryu on the field, by turn 3, Ryu was still alive. Dragon Dance that Ryu, he's in the defense zone. You've got Miragra, 250 defense. You've got the rune, Zodiac Barrier, soak up the defense. You could have adapted. There were ways to stop your life point loss in that, even in the game that we were in. The answer wasn't offensive. If you had staying offensive, there's no situation in which you can win. I agree to that. But that doesn't mean that there's no situation in which you can win in general, right? There are other alternatives. There are other answers, in my opinion, in that situation, right? A deck like the Reapers, they just swing over. Who cares? Umbridge doesn't care if you're fortified. What is that? Umbridge doesn't give a damn. He doesn't care, right? Not to mention, you never even used the cursed effect in this game. The cursed effect was so instrumental in the last game, where, yeah, sure, I was fortified, but you just sent me to the graveyard anyway. Neo, nah, there's counterplay. I'm sorry. I've talked myself out of it. There's so much counterplay.
The reason I didn't use the curse is because I was gonna. That's how I got you to 50 and 50, because I used the curse.
Yeah, but
clearly, I didn't use the curse.
But clearly that didn't work at the end of the day. Right?
Because
call it like it
because
is.
you used the rune to reset your.
Yeah, because luckily I called the fact that you were going to make that play that turn. Again, that's a skill thing. I don't feel like you should punish players for knowing when to play their runes. That's half the skill of the game, right? I expected you to do that. I played a rune in response, so it's an exchange. I won that exchange effectively, right? Because I called the play. If I didn't call the play, in a situation where I didn't set that rune, you would have destroyed both my cards that turn. We wouldn't be having this conversation. So I don't think that's down to the deck being broken. I think that was just a good move from the player. I'm not trying to hype myself up, because, again, I'm the hypothetical player. I'm thinking if someone was trying to play optimally, I think that was just optimal play, not broken play. Right? That was just a strategy working out. Right? The more I look at it, I think there were avenues. I think there were other ways. Right? Like,
so is that the solution you want for the game?
I think yes. I don't want to be too afraid to let players have fun, right? Like this is new. It's different. I can 100% see how this could be frustrating. So we do need to be careful. But I don't think the immediate response here should be to nerf it. I think we give it a bit.
In response to freezing specifically, it's just that if we look at the cards that can isolate in the game currently,
yeah,
I would say like Migra, you have to, one of your wandering cards has to be destroyed.
Okay.
Or
tributed.
Sent to graveyard.
Yeah.
And then you can isolate. What's another card that can isolate?
Reyes isolates by tributing herself.
So you tribute yourself and isolate again.
Ventus isolates by Ventus just isolates. Not Ventus.
Reduce your attack to 0 and isolate.
So that effect has actually been changed. After talking it over, the point of reducing the defense to 0 is just because you're only supposed to be able to do it once, right? So reducing your defense to 0 to isolate a card on the field. An easier, more reasonable solution to that is reducing your defense to isolate a card on the field, but this effect cannot be used again while this card is on the field, because paying 100 life points to get 0 defense on the field just never feels good. So that I felt was a healthier alternative. So it isolates, but it only does it once, similar to the rune, and it's something that you could potentially recycle by moving things around, but that takes a lot of skill.
Mm-hmm. So best. So for that isolate, you need to pay like 100 Nexus cost.
Yeah.
To base again isolate, while the rune is just taking one of your rune slots and just isolate for free.
I mean, I agree with you until you consider the fact that that's what all runes do. They take effects that certain monsters have, and it's just like, hey, here you go, right? that's just kind of that's just kind of runes, right? So I agree with you. I do feel like it is a lot.
Other card like.
I mean, because Incinerate literally is just like, hey, ignite a card, which is what certain cards are all about. You've got diversion and smoke. You've got diversion, which is literally just, you know what you had to really plan out with Zodiac, with the changing target thing. That's what that does. It's just that's very skill intensive and it's situational, so no one uses it. You've got Smoke Grenade, which gives a card on the field priority when you get attacked, which is just giving a card the priority status effect. Luckily, that's conditional, but still, priority is only going to be relevant when you're either attacking or being attacked. So I don't know how much I would say that.
So what I would say to that is the runes being monster effects on taking a rune slot is that the rune slots that those monster effects is you have to like kind of like play around it. You have to like strategize where to use that effect most, because you only get one per game.
Yeah.
But there's not gonna be like a turn where you're gonna isolate in a card.
There's no there's no turn where it's not valid to isolate a card on the field. I get
it's kind of like ignite, but ignite it's in itself. It's like if you had I'm pretty sure you would never print a card that says give a card, target a card, that card gains fortified. I'm pretty sure you would never print the card.
I've been thinking about it, but no, I probably wouldn't. Not for free anyway.
I'm telling you straight up,
not for free.
You're not printing that card.
Free. No, you would probably have to do something to get the fortified. I have been thinking about a generic fortified rune though. I've been thinking about generic runes for every status effect, but yeah, there would be a cost attached to it.
So I don't see why isolate doesn't need a cost.
See, I agree.
I understand why
I don't
ignite doesn't need a cost, but I don't think isolate.
I don't, because I think isolate is somewhere in between ignite and fortified. I don't think isolate is nearly as strong as fortified, right?
I would say it's just kind of is.
No, it's definitely not. Let me tell you why. And it's as simple as this: fortified is permanent. Ignite only lasts till the isolate only lasts until the end of the turn. 1, 2. You can do things even though you're isolated. Like for example, both games where I isolated your Swamp Dweller guy, it didn't matter because you just turned into a different Swamp Dweller. Like the isolate rune literally didn't impact the first these games that we're looking at. I'm just thinking about the general strategy, and again, it only didn't impact the strategy because you chose to play. And again, no, you played blind, which is important. You played blind, but you had only one attacker. So in a situation where I isolated just the one attacker, if you just turned into a different card, it's like, okay, well, that didn't really do that much, right? And in a situation where I don't do that, well, you just switch into a Swamp Dweller monster, you could get the rank 3 out, and, well, actually, no, with the way you compose your deck, you wouldn't be able to do it in that same turn, to be fair, right? All things being equal.
Wait,
you get what I'm trying to say.
Wait, isolate isn't broken because Swamp Dwellers can swap out. Is that what you're saying?
No, that would be stupid, Neoshock. It's the first thing I said. It lasts until the end of the turn. It affects you for a turn.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near as strong as something like Fortified, where it's just like, hey, no matter what, you will have to damage this card before you're able to break through. It's not on the same level. And again, I wouldn't call either of them broken. I just don't. I think one thing is stronger than the other.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you. I'll say like Fortified is definitely the best status effect so far. But
Currently,
I
I
would say
agree.
Isolate is a close second.
I,
Is there anything that you put above Isolate?
yes, to be honest, it's just that we don't have the cards yet. Like that's the thing. What's the debate? We're debating the this new deck, right? It's very strong, but we're trying. I'm trying to see
I'm not
what
even
how
on
big of
that
a
anymore.
problem
I'm
that
just
is.
saying like
No,
Freeze
no, no.
is
But again, in the
pretty
context,
sus.
in the con, so we went from the new deck being strong, and then okay, it's about freeze, and so now we're talking about the isolate mechanic. It's honestly not, Neo. I think it's just because of what we have access to and what we play and what you see. Like for example, cleanse is busted. Cleanse is so broken. It's just the only card that has cleanse right now is Ryu. Like your opponent's whole strategy could be about doing, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna get this status effect, and then you just cleanse, and the whole thing falls apart because you can't add a status effect on top of cleanse. That's insane. Like Neo,
You
I
can't
don't.
add a status effect on top of cleanse until the end of the turn, or is it permanent?
Oh, until the end of the turn, you're that card can't have other status effects on top of cleanse, right? So
Yeah,
just
so
any
you
strategy, you
could
just
induct
unravel
it
it.
the next turn. You can, if you
But
incinerate, it still
you're
keeps the
saying
damage.
you're no. You're saying it like one whole turn passing with your planned status effects not working isn't ridiculously detrimental. If you're not seeing how important that is, you're being disingenuous, right? It's just like I fortified this card, or I gave that card guard break so I could go for damage, or I could protect myself, and you just remove fortified and kill me, right? Like my whole plan was fortify this and survive, and you're just like nope, and you kill
I
me
feel like
anyway.
this is similar to like, are you gonna make a card that target this card get fortified? Are you gonna make a card target this card cleanse? Is it kind of
I would probably make a card that cleansed on target. I would. I would. I
with
would
no
make a
cost
cut. I
target
would.
cleanse?
I would. Because that takes skill. Because if you don't play it on the right turn, you just waste it. Right? Like there are going to be times where cleanse isn't useful, but fortified will always be useful. So you can miss with the cleanse cards. You can't miss with fortification. If your opponent plays
Can
gladiators
you
turn one
miss
and you
with
don't,
isolate?
I would say yes. It's situational, but yes.
What what? How can you miss with isolate? Let's say.
I think it's less likely to miss with an isolate, but certain decks don't really care about isolation, is what I would say. Like, for example, if we're talking about. If we're talking about. I don't want to give a strawman example that doesn't actually work, but it sounds like it works, so give me a second to think it through. I was going to say, because gladiators don't really care about their offense turn one. They're tributing, they're doing their whole thing. Isolate doesn't stop them from doing that. However, to avoid being disingenuous, it's only fair to consider the fact that if you isolate the Renrir that they're using for counter purposes before it makes it to the counter zone, that is very detrimental. So I'm not going to pretend like that isn't a factor, right? If you were to isolate a Forest Guard doesn't care about isolation in the slightest turn one. If you isolate them turn one, you're doing them a favor because now you can't kill their Selenis. If you stop them from attacking, they don't care because they're taking their time anyway. It doesn't matter. If anything, not being able to attack with Minos just means it can negate attacks, but you don't need to negate attacks in that situation. So again, they wouldn't care about being isolated. I think that's a very solid response. Swamp Dwellers, obviously, like we've established, don't care about being isolated. If you isolate the Daemon cards, you're doing them a favor because that means whichever one isn't getting the boost gets to be protected. And you can't isolate during the battle phase, which means that they both get to live until such a point as which one of them boosts up and then they're attacking you anyway, so that doesn't really stop them. So they don't care about being isolated. Who else? I wish I had the decks in front of me. Damien's Valiance, if anything, if you isolate them, you're doing them a favor as well. If you isolate Arias, you're doing them a favor because that protects them. If you isolate... I would say, I mean, that's already 5. I could rack my brain for more, but I think I've made my point clear. it's very possible to miss. I think with the decks that we like playing the most, it's harder to miss because we like offense. But if we were playing against someone like
Yeah, I would
Seluxus,
say
then he wouldn't give a damn if we isolated him.
I'll say Forest Guard. I guess it would take out the option from them, so instead of they would have to just use the negate.
Yeah, but again, removing an option from your opponent for a single card, I mean, for a single turn rather, would they actually care? Like, yes, okay, like, oh, that's annoying. I can't hit you this turn, but like, does it actually stop anything in their strategy? I would say no. Right?
So is a generic rune meant to stop their strategy, or is a generic rune meant to annoy your opponent?
For a single
Or
turn,
like
I mean,
supplement?
not you can't. I wouldn't answer that question because I don't think it's a fair. I don't think it's a fair question because anything can do anything in the right situation. In the right situation, a card can be game winning. Like, for example, in some situations, you top deck a Dark Ruler No More, it doesn't do shit. It's a dead card. But in some situations, you top deck a Dark Ruler No More and it wins you the game, right? Like, that's just card games. Situationally, anything can do anything. So that's what I mean when I say it's like, okay, certain runes that you can miss with, even if the potential to hit with Isolate is higher than the potential to hit with something like Cleanse. If you use the Fortified rune, you will always hit. So that's why we're not going to make that one. I mean, even the Ignite rune can miss. I felt bad igniting your Boss Guardian each game because it felt like a waste. It's like, okay, who cares? I've ignited. You want to ignite an attacker. If your opponent isn't being offensive, you can miss with Ignite, right? I don't think that.
Yes, so I feel like we all agreeing that Ignite is fine as targeting, and would literally
I
debate
think
if freeze.
if freeze should be targeted. I think I'm going to say that it should. You have to discard. I'm gonna put the discard cost on it, not because I really hope it doesn't ruin. It shouldn't ruin this deck. I hope. We'll see. And again, everything will be situational. And this deck facing adversity wouldn't be a bad thing as long as the strategy doesn't die. But the more that I think about it, outside of this deck, that rune has the potential to unravel a lot of defensive strategies, right? Like, while it bolsters this specific defensive strategy, unless you are also playing the Isolate rune, assuming your opponent is the only one who's isolating on that turn, there's a lot that can be done that disrupts things that already exist. And I say a lot. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it literally could be used against you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. So it's like right. So you see what I'm trying to say, where it's like, all right, it being everywhere, I don't know how fun that
I
would
didn't
be.
even take that into consideration. Like, what the heck?
So hold on. You've been going through this whole conversation without realizing that that's a possibility.
I didn't take it. Yeah. So that's how you should see how broken it is. Like, from my point of view, just like a free Isolate is just like
my
crazy against like offensive decks.
The point that I'm making is that it balances. No, if anything, if everyone's isolated, right? If everyone's strategy is getting interrupted, I don't see it as being as bad. But that being said, the reason why I don't want to introduce that level of interruption. So I do agree. I don't think it's broken.
I would say
it
kind of is that bad because a generic rune being omnipresent interruption is kind of crazy.
Okay, so let me ask you. So pause. Let me ask you this. Right? Because if generic runes being everywhere is a problem, why have generic runes? Why have card exchange? I understand taking out Siphon. Why have card exchange? Why have Ignite? Ignite is consistent disruption, right? It's going to consistently lower attack and defense. That's the whole point of generic runes, is for them to be consistent disruption that anyone can play. I don't think it being consistent disruption is the problem per se. That being said,
I would say it's not about how consistent it is, it's how much of a staple is. How, like, if every single deck can play, because like not every single deck has space for an Ignite. Some people have like better runes they want to play that are more like impactful, and like, for example, like Forest Guard, or like some other decks, Reapers, they want to play their runes. Ignite is definitely
my counter to that is
not staple.
My counter to that is not everyone would have space for Isolate, right? Isolate is good, don't get me wrong. It's definitely going to be in quite a few decks, but not everyone would run it. So at which point do you say, oh, too many people are running it, right? Like, I don't want to hold players' hands and be like, okay, no, you have to be a better sheep or you have to be individual and not everyone play the same card. Like, at what point do you deem, like, what percentage of players have to put it in their deck for it to be like, okay, no, right?
I'll
Like,
say 3/3 to be honest. Like 75% is crazy.
I don't agree with you.
You don't
Because
agree that every 1 in
75
3 games you're seeing the same card is not crazy.
No, I don't, because that's card games, man. If it's not that, it's going to be something. You have to. I mean, you've played a lot of card games. You have to realize that it's in. If your aim is to make it so that there are no cards that have a prevalence in the meta that you see consistently, you have to realize that's just never going to work, right? Like, I understand that we're trying to make a game like that card game players will enjoy that
I mean,
solves a lot
yeah,
of
so
problems that
that's what I'm
card
saying.
games
Like,
have.
I'm not saying
But
like
that,
1 in 3 games you see like the same deck, for example. Like,
okay.
I feel like that's a more different than you
If
seeing the
if it,
same stable.
if anything, if I see the same card, I mean, the same argument carries over. If anything, you see the same cards in Yu-Gi-Oh and other games as well. But more to that point, if anything, if I'm seeing the same card with different spice around it, I would much prefer that. Like, if one or two cards are the same, like for example, Marvel Snap, I see Daredevil pretty often, but it's in different decks, and that's fine. Right? Like, I just don't agree. Maybe it's a card game philosophy thing, but I don't think that that's the problem that you think it is. Maybe I end up feeling wrong about that, but I don't think, because that is going to happen no matter what. As the game goes on, we can't avoid it, right? There is no way that
I
every
mean,
card
yeah,
can be
in
the
the
best
future,
card.
I don't think day 1 generic runes should be like saucy like that.
Well, I feel like I see your point, but at the same time, I don't agree with how saucy you feel the card is. So I guess at
Okay.
that point, we just wouldn't agree. I am going to nerf it. I am going to add the discard cost onto it, which keeps it away from quite a few decks, because not that many decks want to discard, and that makes it a toss up between that and a card exchange for decks who do want to discard.
Mm.
But again, I don't want to make cards that people just don't want to use, right? Because at that point, like, the amount of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh that you collect that are just like, hey, this is completely useless, right? Like, players are going to pay for these cards. I don't want you to pay for something that you're never going to feel interested in playing, right?
Yeah, I
So
understand that.
it's all right. We'll be careful,
So,
but
so
that's
that's why
about
I'm
it.
fine with like something being having a discard and not having like send a monster or something.
No, that makes sense. I
Send an
think,
avatar.
if
I feel like
anything, I would like to have some degree of consistency with the status effect cards, where it's like, okay, if we're saying that status effects require a discard, make it a blanket thing, but then that feels like it ruins the other status. Like, I would do that
like
for
I
Fortified,
disagree with that completely. Like
right? Like, I feel like if you did that with Ignite,
statuses are not made equal, so treating them as equal, like masked, void, they're definitely like
so
more.
what I mean, so for example, a status effect that a status effect that wouldn't get a rune is masked. I will never make a masked rune. Not even because I think the status effect is broken, but because with how it's going to work mechanically, it literally wouldn't work, right? So not every status effect will get a rune. I'm just thinking for the ones that will, make them consistent between each other.
What does flag do? I remember you like saying it one time.
Flagged?
It had like a flag thing, like something masked, something similar to that word.
Masked, I know. So masked is, I don't know about a flag, but masked is the one where your cards are face down during the declaration phase, so your opponent doesn't know what you've actually played. But as soon as you activate an effect or battle, your opponent gets to see what you've played.
So is there no? Okay, I guess because like I don't know if it was an icon or something. Could you read out the status effects? I guess.
Now, I mean, I suppose. All right. Let's pop open the rule book and we can take a look real quick. Also, everyone keeps calling them status effects. They're status conditions. Status effects are the effects that apply the status conditions. And I know that seems like a very small change, because it is. But the wording becomes so much more tedious if you don't actually pay attention to the difference later on. So you've got blinded, cleansed, cursed, fortified, guard break, ignited, inducted, isolated, masked, priority, quickened, stunned, sealed, and void. Those are the status effects that currently exist.
So which ones would you never add a rune on?
A void rune feels effectively the same as an isolated rune. I wouldn't be against it, but I probably wouldn't. I might make a sealed rune, but I'm way less likely to do it, and it would obviously involve a cost. I would make a stunned rune. I would make a quickened rune. I would make, I mean, a priority rune already exists. Wouldn't make a masked rune. Isolation rune already exists. Wouldn't make an inducted rune. Already have an ignited rune. Probably would make a guard break rune. 50-50 on the fortified rune. Don't know if I'd make a cursed rune. Don't know if I'd make a cursed rune. We'll see, because it just feels like destruction with extra steps. And I would make a cleansed rune, and I would make a blinded rune.
I think
Sorry?
I guess could be heavy, but I don't see the 45 being like.
Yeah, some of them can have costs. They don't all have to be consistent. It doesn't make that big a deal. It's fine. But with that,
Yes,
I think
just saying, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some of them needing costs and some of them not needing costs. It just tells you that you can't standardize runes.
Oh no, I know. It wasn't like, oh, they all need to have cost because balance. It was just consistency that I was looking for between status effects. But I think I agree. It's not really possible to do it that way without making some status effects runes just garbage. So that is what it is. In any event, I'm gonna make the change to the isolated rune, make it so that you have to discard if you want to do it, and see how everything feels, which means that this new deck will be missing a rune slot. I'll try and workshop a fix for that hole, and we can try again on Friday most likely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you, anyone who's still watching. This went on for quite some time, where we weren't even playing. It was just the debate. It was just the talking. Gooba69, I'm really sorry. I missed your question. Because we were already talking about game design, I sort of just assumed that, okay, you would sort of be able to just grab onto what we were talking about and just, like, run with it. Because we were sort of talking about how to make the card game better. So these are the kinds of things you need to think about when you're looking into that. Okay. All right, Neil, I'll catch you later. Thank you very much for the help, bro. And have a good night, my friend.
You too.
All right, take care. Okay, and now we wrap up. Have a good night, everyone.